Is Eli's gonna get in, but is he gonna be first ballot? Because I really don't want to be there on Eli's weekend. That's fucking annoying.
Do you think that Gates didn't get in because of that one time on the Pat Mayo Experience he got caught making out with Phillip Rivers?
Well, we'll work on that. We'll work on that.
Oh, hey, I'm Phillip Rivers. I don't want to be throwing the ball downfield no more. Oh, look, it's my best friend coming back, Antonio Gates. Ooh, I love you, Geoff.
I love you too, guys.
Week 5, it's all going to happen for us.
Yeah, they win this week. We get the Browns next week.
I throw it to you, Antonio, because you can't run more than 7 yards down the field. Touchdown. Ooh, yeah. Ooh. Oh, Phillip. Phillip would not enjoy this, would he? This would be against his beliefs.
This is a sin.
Mayo Experience.
Mayo Experience. Mayo Experience. Mayo Experience. Experience.
Welcome to the Pat Mayo Experience, presented by Underdog Fantasy. Week 1 picks against the spread, game previews, predictions, free money, Super Lock, Survivor, because we're all still in it in Week 1, and a Cust Corner mini halfway through the show. You good people out there, the main show is back. Welcome back to the Pat Mayo Experience. You smash the like, you sub to the channel if you leave a rating and review, and subscribe 5 stars to the audio podcast on Apple or Spotify, or both, to get yourself 2 entries. You're in a draw for $500. We'll be giving away the winner on this show next week for week 2. We'll be live on Sunday evening like we always are. Plenty of content for you throughout the week. But the big thing is use code Mayo at Underdog Fantasy right now and get yourself a deposit bonus of up to $1,000. If you have an Underdog account already or you want to get in, I'm giving it away an additional, get this, $25,000 for a season-long pick'em contest on Underdog. All the details and rules are down in the description. There is a Google form link. It will take you 10 seconds to enter, and it's bonus money. It's completely free to play in this contest, so please go do that now. That is how you can support the show. Geoff Fienberg showing his support for the Los Angeles Chargers, it seems, with that hat on, and lots of other things too. What's up?
Oh, excited. We made it. We're here. Lots is up. Big day, big week. I don't feel doom, but I'm not very excited either. So we'll see where it takes us.
Well, we got Paul and Jared behind the camera. We got the coin in studio, but unfortunately, this is going to be his last appearance on the show because I hear he has taken over full-time co-hosting duty with the new podcast by the Hawk 2 girl. It is Tim Andergust.
Tim Andergust.
That's not my name. I don't even know what you're referring to.
I mean, no one gives it more of a Hawk 2 than you, don't you?
I don't even want to look that up.
How did you
know what that
How
is?
did you miss that? That was like the thing of the summer for like 3 days.
I don't even, I'm afraid to even.
You call yourself the maven of pop culture.
Oh my God. Oh, that's vile.
She's a superstar, Tim. You could go viral.
I don't even know
like
how
that.
you missed that.
Oh my God.
Anyway, she has
that's not my TikTok algorithm.
she's got her own podcast now.
I've been getting Super Mario. All I get is Super Mario Brothers levels that are being at an incredibly high level, being beaten by like experts.
Is that
like 90% of my TikToks?
Does it make you sad that someone can speed run a Mario level and you have never completed a Mario level?
What it makes me feel sad about is that like I could never be as good as that person is.
Would you even want to be?
I don't know. It kind of would be fun. It would be sort of cool to show off, honestly.
Show off?
To who?
Yeah, like it'd be like a party trick. Like, oh, you think you're good at video games? Watch this.
Like, here, watch
And
this.
like-
Watch me hook up my NES console from 35 years ago. Oh, you don't. Oh, these TVs don't support the brackets that I have in the back to put it in. It would just be an entire hassle.
No, it wouldn't. It would be really, really cool. You could do it on your Switch or whatever. You don't have to do it on an old computer or a television.
I would venture a guess that doing it on a Switch would be very difficult.
It might be. I don't know. I'm just saying a lot of the videos I'm getting these days is video game completions and like colors being mixed together with paint or stuff like that.
Is it because you don't know what the two colors put together will show you, so you're always surprised? Like, oh, what's this blue and orange going to give me when it comes through?
No, but it's like different levels of that. And like, I don't know. Enough about I don't want this to go on for 4 hours. Let's move on.
We're 4 minutes into the season, Geoff, and he's already complaining about the length of the show.
I just can see it now. We have 16 games to go through and foolishness. And like, I got stuff to do today.
We have a fantasy football draft in like 3 hours. 4 hours.
I know. That's what I mean. 4 hours. I got to get up. I got to get over there. Like, this is the whole thing.
It's a hassle, Geoff. Should we just speed it up? Should we just do quick picks here? Just go through the 16 games, give our picks, and have that be it?
Don't threaten me with a good time.
I don't know. When he like gives a hard time about being in a rush, I'm not trying to diminish, but like most of your friends, a lot of your friends like probably have kids and shit. Like there's like that actually have things to do or errands to run. I don't know. You just always make it seem like everything's the end of the world in some way.
You think I'm just a catastrophist?
No,
Yes.
but I guess in some way, I don't know. Whatever.
I can't wait till the Raiders win by like 25 points on Sunday. I can't wait, Geoff.
Because I'm diminishing your time. You have
Well,
to.
like,
do
I'm
that?
not saying that my time is more important than anybody. I just don't think that when we go 3 hours and 15 minutes, people get to listen to that whole podcast, and it alienates people. And yes, there are a handful of people that enjoy that type of deep dive, but I don't think, particularly off the hop, people want that.
Yes, if there's one thing that the metrics tell me of the most downloaded and viewed show that I've had for the past 7 years, that people don't like it when it's long. That is what
I
the
don't think
metrics
they
tell
do.
me. So you're
you-
saying that the numbers and the reaction and the feedback are all wrong, and you're right.
If that's the position I have to take, then that's the position I have to take.
All right.
I have a suspicion that the people who enjoy this show would rather deep dive the current state of your algo than us like do Jags Dolphins.
Yeah, but Tim can get really
Any
triggered
game.
on the
I'm
Dolphins.
not trying to pick on that game. That's a good game.
Geoff, did you leave the province of Ontario yet to join this Underdog Pick'em League? Because you seem like a man who would see plus EV in a $25,000 giveaway.
Not yet, but there is still time. We're a long weekend here with Labor Day, and the kids went back to school. There's something I need to get in Buffalo. So it's possible. It's possible I'm in a car by Thursday.
Well, you don't need to do it by Thursday. Like the season-long contest, there's no minimum or maximum per week. When we go to Montreal in 3 weeks and do the show live from Montreal, shout out if you're in Montreal. Let us know if you're coming to Montreal or if you're in Montreal, because Cust wants to do a live show. And if we get enough people around, maybe we can facilitate that somewhere in Montreal, do this show live in front of an audience or a Cust Corner or whatever. But you can just go make 100. You just need to make 180 picks throughout the course of the season. You can make all 180 in week 3 if you want to.
Cam makes 180 picks every week.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't have a screen large enough to track everything for him.
I was just sort of becoming aware of like Tim's extreme anxiety about traveling, getting excited, talking to him about Montreal. You'd think he was going to like the gulag or something.
That's an exaggeration. Just not a traveler by nature. I'm just not a traveler. And this is like much longer than I'm used to traveling. So
It's a week. It's less than a week.
yeah, but like that's a long time for me.
Yeah, well, just wait till after Super Bowl and I'm gone for like 3 weeks or something like that. Because I'm looking
Well,
forward
that's
to
fine.
that.
If you enjoy it, go for it. Like I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying I'm not used to it.
So you don't want to get in our villa by the Corrales Resort in Dominican Republic, Tim, is what you're saying?
No, and I don't want to go away for 3 weeks like that. No, thank you. I'll live vicariously through the stories you tell.
All right. Well, we got lots on the docket. Like I said, the giveaways for the rating and review, you can always do that if you want this show in advance every single week, the night before. Subscribe to the free Mayo Media newsletter, and all the info is going to be in there as well. But please use code Mayo at Underdog, sign up. And the great thing about the Pick'em Pool is, even if you want to buy in for like $20 on Underdog right now, you'll get the deposit bonus of, I think it's $10 on a $20 deposit. So now you have $30, and you only have to make 180 of these picks. You can jam 8 of them onto one and make a $1 entry. There's no difference between a $1 entry and a $5 $500 entry as a part of this pool to win the prize pool of $25,000. So it's a very easy way to get in, and I would appreciate if you're on the Twitter machine, you follow me at the PME, you see that post up there where I have the league. If you could spread that around, share it around to whomever. I just want to get as many people in this as possible, because next year it might not be 25,000 if we get enough people. It might be 50,000. It might be 100,000. We might be able to run one for golf as well. So the larger we can make this off the outset, the larger it's going to become in the future. So please do that again. Code Mayo at Underdog Fantasy. Let's get to it. Opening night, Baltimore at Kansas City. The Chefs are favored by 3 points. 46 is the game total, and the first pick of the year is going to go to the coin who has selected, Tim, the California Raisins, +3 against the Kansas City Chiefs.
I'm right there with them. I will take the Ravens too. The Chiefs don't tend to start fast to begin with. The Chiefs struggled in this game last year, for a matter of fact, and didn't cover and didn't even win. So I think this is a spot where Baltimore is, the quarterback is totally healthy. I think they're a bit of an enigma in terms of how they're going to pass the ball. I still don't trust their receivers that much, but I expect it to be a close, low-scoring game a la the AFC Championship game. And I think that it's like a 3-point game in either direction. And so in that case, I'll take the points.
They didn't have a great showing last year against Detroit opening night, Geoff, but they beat the pants off Houston, and I vividly remember them crushing the Patriots on opening night, and I think it was in 2017.
That was in Foxborough.
Was it? They still crushed them.
I think gasoline's about to be poured on the three-peat talk when they show off their new toys, they show off how they've adapted, and they let us know. I believe it's a better team. It's a better roster than the one that won the Super Bowl last year, despite losing some good players, like Snead. I think they're a better team. I think it starts on Thursday night at home. I think it's more than a fair price. Laying it.
You got a lot of insight into this game here. So you're taking the Chiefs -3.
What did Tim say? What did Tim say that's so insightful? There's a lot of turnover on Baltimore. They got 3 new offensive linemen. There's a lot of the staff was pillaged in the offseason, from defensive coordinators to personnel staff to like analytics nerds. I don't know, but it's the Chiefs. They're going to drop the banner. It's Arrowhead.
Why is your defense of your capping of the game just all about my cap of the game rather than actually defending yourself?
I just think the Chiefs are amazing. I don't have a deep.
Well, no one disputes that. I picked them to win the
Super.
I picked them to win the Super Bowl, but I don't think this. I mean, we're expecting rain in this game. We're expecting probably some thunder showers. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think it's going to be a sort of a closer grapple game like we saw the last time they played. I don't think it's going to be a lot of points, and so if that's the case, it's really hard to lay those points. The Chiefs, the Rams. You look at the last several teams that have hosted. Other than Kansas City in the COVID year, people are not winning this game. So
I respect the revenge factor. I just think there's more unknowns on Baltimore than there are for Kansas City. The Raiders did the dumbest thing you could possibly do. I go away for a weekend to come back to find out they're like making Kermit the Frog jokes with a doll on the first day of training camp. And like I said on the other show we did, maybe it was the win totals, they named Mahomes the 4th best player in the league by his peers. This is all so annoying. I'm not happy that they're awesome, but they're awesome, and they're going to show it quickly.
I'm actually with the coin and Tim on this one. I like Baltimore in the points here. I feel like it's not necessarily that there's a revenge factor. It's that Baltimore had that game and let it slip away last year. It was theirs to win. I do think the defense is going to be somewhat diminished, but not completely diminished. It's still a better defense than the Chiefs has. So they can really clog the box on Pacheco. You're then dealing with, you still have Kelsey and Rice, and obviously Rice came out in full force during the playoffs as that solid option that Mahomes could turn to when he was in need. We'll see what Xavier Worthy does. Obviously, Hollywood Brown's not practicing right now. He could return in week 2 against Cincinnati, but I think that's just a lot to put on a rookie to be a real game changer here. And just with Derrick Henry on the other side, Lamar's ability to extend plays to him, that I think it's going to be a close game. If it's a close game, we'll take the points.
Mm-hmm.
There is a free square on Underdog in this game, Geoff. Kelsey, over half a yard. Do you think he gets it?
Yeah, his girlfriend's drawing up plays now.
Sweet. That'd be awesome if they won the game on a Taylor Swift play. Would that trigger you?
No, I'm not a hater. I'm a fan. I like her. I like her more than I like him.
You don't like him?
Well, of course,
he's-
he's not a fan of Mr. Vax.
You're a lot deeper than me, buddy. Who want to lay it all out there? You guys done a great job, but you're a lot deeper than me. I'm a lot more pliable than you are. But no, I'm just like
What?
I'm allowed to say I don't care for Travis Kelce. He's an Hall of Fame all-time player on the team in my
Yeah.
division.
You guys just don't like that he's Mr. Pfizer. That's all. That's what you guys
I
talk
got
about
no
on
problem.
Rumble.
You do whatever you want. I'm double vax, single boosted, but probably not again. Till the next one. Like Demick, I mean.
Well,
That's it.
I mean,
That's it. I get a yearly flu shot though, but I ain't re-upping with that.
oh no, the internet cut him off. See, he was telling too
Yeah.
he was getting too real for YouTube out there. Either way, Cust, I mean, it's like every 100 years there's a pandemic or some sort of scare like this, Geoff. Cust did give himself a 1% chance of living to the age of 117, which is the most
I think
laughable
I
thing
could
I've
do
ever
it.
heard.
No. The oldest person in the world passed away like 2 weeks ago at 117. And I said, I don't think my odds are great, but you give me 1 in 100 shot to get there, and I think I could do it.
Yeah, the preservatives from the cake in the freezer for 4 months will do it to you.
Yeah,
6
or
months.
aspartame. If aspartame can help, that would be great.
I mean, even with the medical science will be in 40 years from now to extend our lives, how many people in the world do you think have lived to the age of 117 ever?
Like legit, it probably can't be more than like 10 or 12.
But you have a 1% chance of getting there.
I do. That's what I guess what I gave myself was a 1% chance.
I mean, you need to open up a sports book. Like we need to find
Well,
somewhere.
there's no way to cash in on this bet.
I'm really disappointed we let that road go on the first game of the season. Whatever, I should have just taken Tim's Bates. But I'm on cruise control. Like I'm flying a plane at cruising altitude. This guy is insane. I don't know where he's gonna get me. I don't know where you're gonna get me. Where this plane's gonna crash, Tim.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll behave yourself for 17 consecutive weeks here on the show. I'm sure.
There have been 12 instances of recorded history where someone has lived to 117 years old, but you have a 1 in 100 shot of doing it.
I just thought I had a 1% chance. I stand by that.
Even with this new evidence at hand of 12 people ever in the history of the world.
I heard you. I'm
You
not
got a
changing
better
my
chance
mind.
of winning Powerball.
Yes.
I stand by it. I think I could do it.
Okay, well, we're rooting for you. The people out there are rooting for you to get to 117 years old. Geoff, you ready to go to Brazil?
More than the players are, apparently.
Well, I mean, you're someone who really enjoys wearing their Speedo everywhere, so I feel like you would really fit in Brazil.
Oh, Jeff's a t-shirt in the pool type of guy, aren't you, Jeff?
Shut
No
up,
chance.
never.
There's no chance of that.
Never. Not even as like a chubby kid at summer camp. I didn't get whatever. I mean, sunburn got to load up on what are you t-shirt in a pool. Get out of town. Get out of town. That's an insult. That's probably you.
No, I don't do that. I don't care.
No. I can't even believe you laid that accusation on me.
See, to get you rattled here. We're not even through 2 games, and I've completely got the high ground.
Apparently the players have been told like not to leave the hotel, Pat.
Oh, I believe it. It's an awful spot.
Yeah,
I don't know. Not about Sao Paulo. It's an awful spot game. Like, this would be a tough way to start your season.
do you think it's strange that they went to Brazil out of all places they could have chosen?
Yes, I do. I think it's very strange.
Where would
I don't
you have
understand
chosen?
I mean, nope. If I had to, this game has to be international, right? So, I don't know. Somewhere in Europe, maybe France,
I mean, they couldn't have done
maybe Spain.
like Vancouver or Montreal. Like that would be like a very
could've.
soft dip into the international market this early.
I agree. Sao Paulo seems like a very unconventional choice.
And why was it Sao Paulo and not Rio?
I don't know.
I guess maybe they
At least
put
Sao
in.
Paulo is bigger.
I think so too, but maybe they just put in a very corrupt bid in order to get it. Either way, I'm kind of excited to see. I bet you the atmosphere is going to be legit.
I don't know. There's no way to know that. South America, they've never had an NFL game. Like, will it be? I don't know.
Oh, this is what I wanted to ask you about the Thursday night game and the Friday night game, Geoff. Is it weird that I get more excited for these two games, especially Thursday night football, than I do the Super Bowl?
No. These are great matchups. I don't know what you mean, like excited.
Like, I'm pumped for week one. By the time the Super Bowl comes around, I'm fucking done with football.
Yeah, well, week one's real football, right? Unlike the Super Bowl.
Tim, are you baiting me again? Because I stand by this. I stand by this. And this is like this is a public service announcement to people out there. I'm not right about a lot of things, but I'm on the mark here. I take attendance in week one. Okay. Like, you know who's got nuts and who doesn't have nuts with your friends based on week one. And week one is more important than the Super Bowl. It's more important than the Super Bowl. It is.
I mostly agree with that. I do mostly agree with that. You should show up week one if you possibly can. I do
The
agree.
slate is back, like 8 games at once. Super Bowl's lovely. It's the cherry on the end of the season of your ice cream sundae. If your team's in the game, I'm jealous of you. But like, the Super Bowl's about hors d'oeuvres and your wives and their friends are yapping in the back. And that's cool. That's fine. I like a good party. I'm done with football season anyway by the Super Bowl, like Pat. But week one, like, this is when the waiter drops the ice cream sundae in front of you and everything is there. All of it. It's the best. And I think like dudes who like week one is such a problem for them, but the Super Bowl, they can do no problem. Need to explain it better to the other people in their lives, clearly. Public service announcement out.
Thursday through Monday of week one is the best part of the sporting calendar to me. And you know how much I love the Open. I love the Masters. And there are just random things that will pop up. But I get jazzed for week one. I'm genuinely excited for it to start.
Yeah, I'm not as excited for the Thursday and Friday. It's the Sunday that really gets me going. It's like having 8 or 9 games on all at once. That to me really is like exciting.
Do you give
week one?
you give yourself the hock to before you show up and watch the games?
That's terrible. Do you think that's funny, don't you?
I do. Well, I didn't realize you were a lotion person. You're not au naturel.
People are terrible.
The Packers are 2.5-point dogs in this game to Philly. 48.5 is the total. I like Philly here. I mean, I picked Philly to go to the Super Bowl, to lose to the Chiefs, and obviously we saw them start hot last year. These two teams were diametric opposites last season. One of them opened strong, one of them closed much stronger than the other. One of them wasn't losing to Tampa in the playoffs after hobbling on their way there. But I think Hurts is healthy. I think Kellen Moore will showcase what this offense can really do in week one. And if Hurts is mobile once again, and he even have Barkley back there. It's not like the defense got decimated at all. I like the Packers enough, but I do think that Philly is on a different level in the NFC right now from the Packers. It's basically the Eagles, then the Lions, and then the Niners, like those 3 teams, and then kind of everyone else, and the Packers are on that everyone else level. They might make me look ridiculous here. It's a weird spot game in Brazil. Who knows? But you're giving me less than a field goal with Philly, a team I think it's going to the Super Bowl. Geoff, I'm taking them.
I love both these teams.
So you're
you
taking
made the
tie.
case for- No, I'm going to take the Eagles. I, like you, have them going to the Super Bowl. I have them winning the Super Bowl. I always make this joke. I'm like the doorknob who, if I may bet a team to win the World Series, you're probably going to see me betting them on opening day. Like, who gives a shit? But hey, that's me. I'll live by my future out of the gate, but I adore both these teams. And I love the Friday game because, to Tim's point, like Thursday to start the year, like it's great. It happens, but then it's just such a tease. It's just such a tease. And to get another great game the next day, the game that I believe is my NFC championship game preview, Oh my God. It's like we just got to get through Saturday, which is filled with other great games. But, then I'll pretend to be an average dad. Okay, dad. Shout out to all the okay dads. Sunday, we abandon. Philly -3.
2.5.
Jeff is not having a good day. I just want to note that.
Why?
Jeff
What
is
do you
not
mean?
having a good day.
What happened? It's a great day.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, in terms of votes, you've done nothing but help yourself.
oh no, buddy, come on. This constituency, shout out to the okay dads. Like props to the all-star dads, greatest dads in the world, dudes that like buy the mug and t-shirt and think it like means the truth or something. Number one in the world, self-aware. Do what I can. Took him to the X last week, Tim. I forgot I wasn't hardwired though. So
Did
maybe
you get
that's
Tim
why
Hortons?
Getting back to hardwired here. Sorry, boys.
We're in
studio.
fucking mid-season form here. The coin is taking Green Bay +2.5. Tim, who are you taking?
I'm taking the Eagles for all the reasons you sort of said. I think they're a cut above Green Bay. No doubt in my mind. I think a little. I think. Yeah, the addition of Barkley, I think, has been overrated. But in week 1, when he's at his healthiest, I think it's probably when he'll help the most. And I think it's going to be an exciting game. I think it's going to be a high scoring game. I like that over 48.5. I think it's going to be a lot of points scored in this game.
I always worry
But in
about
the end, I think Philadelphia will prevail.
I always worry about the international games because we saw it for the first few in London until they actually converted the turf from soccer turf to football turf and guys could actually stand on it. That's the one thing that I'd worry about in this game.
Yep.
That's fair.
I would agree with that. That's a variable that could be an unknown and play a huge role in it. I resent him saying I'm having a bad day. Having a great day. Kids' first day of school, seem happy with their classes, with their teachers. Here with my boys recording. Like it's week 1.
I think you're having a bad day for the vote. That's what I'm saying.
What did you just say? You just said you could live to 117. Do you know how many things I gotta say to tie that?
We're gonna find out.
That's a long ways away. And listen, you are the
1% chance.
You are the
1% chance to 117.
Did you?
No offense, Tim. You're not a pillar of health. And
I agree.
I think, listen, all due respect, you do all you can to get yourself those percentage points in the game of life. But, you see people all the time did everything to get the points. And you see like the fattest slob on earth. Like, how do you outlast that guy? It's so weird. So weird. You like, boy, Ralph died on the Howard Stern show last year. You look at High Pitch Eric still alive. Who'd have bet that? Impossible. But Tim, 117, unless preservatives science ends up finding out that preservatives are the key to long life. You got what are we doing?
I just told Cam like 45 minutes ago that we're recording this show, and then he just called me.
Yeah.
If anyone missed the win total show, I would rectify that. That was probably the best show we've done in 3 years. It was amazing.
Cam's the best. He really is the best.
Jeff's reaction to him saying he was going to come to Woodbridge and body some people was great.
Well,
You were laughing so hard you were no longer breathing.
listen, I say this often. I was like my first job, like an internship out of school, was working like alongside Cam or getting that opportunity. And I've worked with other people, including Pat, who I enjoy. But in terms of like having fun, it's the most fun I ever had, like working in my life. It happened in my early 20s, and it's like a guy who, like was a rookie when his team like won the Super Bowl, and then like, never got back to anything. Like other work was fine, but like fun like that was crazy. Every day was essentially like that. It was like that. The only difference was Cam would leave, it'd get so awkward, and he'd leave, he'd come back. I love you, Pizzola. But this was the key. This was always the key where the day went next. Cam would ask a very important question, and depending on how Rob answered the question would really control the day and the show. simple question. Who you like tonight, Pizzola? And if Pizzola joked then or didn't give Cam a serious response, because Cam likes picks, he likes to know who anyone likes. The doorman down, Billy the doorman. Who you like tonight? If Pizzola did not play respectfully to that question, the day was gone. The day was gone.
I started creating Instagram reels for these standalone games. By the way, in this game, Josh Jacobs over 2.5 receptions is the best bet on the board right now, if that's still available, because it was around even money. It's still on Underdog. Code Mayo, by the way, at 2.5 right now if you want to fill that out. But the Instagram reels are supposed to be less than 60 seconds. So I was like, all right, yeah, I'll just give a 2 lines of insight to this and we'll be on our way. And I couldn't get it below 100 seconds, a minute and a half. I feel like these Instagram reels are for Cam. It's just, here are the picks. No explanation needed. Here's who you take tonight. And he'll just follow.
Yeah. Cam, who you like tonight? You were walking by Ron Papa.
It's like a Morency video. You watch a Morency tweet video. It's just pick.
Good times.
I'll start frothing from the mouth, and I'll channel my inner Morency and start doing these reels, see how that turns out. Let's go to Sunday, though. We got a full slate of early games. Arizona at Buffalo is the first one. Bills favored by 6 at home. 48 is the over-under. I like the Bills in this game, but I worry about the Bills' defense ability to keep the Cardinals from coming back and covering this number, Geoff.
I think I like Arizona.
I think everyone likes Arizona, but I think people forget the other team still has Josh Allen, and that's all that really matters for the Bills.
I think, yeah, because probably when we did the win total show, the spread might have been 7. Now it's 6 and it dropped. So
it's 6.
Yeah. Couldn't see if it was 6 or 6.5. Yeah. I like Arizona. I think they're going to keep this close. Buffalo does have a true home field advantage, but does it show, on a beautiful September afternoon? I'm taking the points here. I will not be using Buffalo in Survivor. I will not. I'm scared of this game enough to make that claim.
Tim?
When I was looking at the board initially, I thought, I don't know if there's going to be any free money out there in week 1. It's a tough week. We don't have really many metrics to use because we haven't seen any games. So I thought maybe I'd have to pass on free money in week 1. But the board just parted seas for me. And there are games out there that just make total sense. And this is the first part of a 6-point money line tease, or 6-point teaser, where we tease Buffalo down to a pick. I think Buffalo's going to win this game. I think Buffalo's going to win this game by more than a touchdown. I don't think that I think people are over talking themselves into Arizona. I think it's becoming too trendy. I think Buffalo's getting a little bit too much disrespect. Another half point in Buffalo has, if it isn't already, has got to be the sharp side in this game. I like Buffalo here, and I like Buffalo teasing them down to a pick too.
I'm going to stick with my guns and go with the Bills -6 in this one as well. Like I said, I do worry about the backdoor cover in this game, but it's weird that you and I are quite aligned on this. I like Buffalo to begin with, and it's not that I dislike Arizona, Geoff, is that I think that people are putting a bit too much steam underneath of them right now. This was a team that was good for their 4.5 win total last year. It's not like Kyler Murray came back when he was healthy and this team just started winning a whole bunch of games. That didn't really happen. Still the team that had the worst defense in football last year, worse than the fucking Broncos defense, which was hilariously bad throughout stretches of the season. But overall, this was the worst one. I just don't see the Bills having any trouble scoring points here.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of the nerds are in love with this coaching staff in Arizona.
I think it's good too. But all the nerds loved your team for the past half decade out of that turnout.
Yeah, no, that's on a game by game basis and big picture. Not well at all. I think there's a look ahead on Thursday night to the Dolphins, which is a factor in this cap for me to just take these points week 1. I don't know whether it was right or wrong. And my grandfather, he didn't bet. He'd always just say week 1, you just take the underdogs. If you don't have an idea, you just take the underdogs, which is such a dumb it's like just take all the white shirts or something. Like, who knows? But I don't know. I'm uncertain. I'm taking the underdogs. I think this is just going to be a close game with a really fun finish. Bills win. Cardinals cover.
Coin likes the Cardinals to cover the +6 as well. Carolina at Nolans. Nolans is a 4-point favorite in this game. They were my pick to win this division because I think that every team sucks in this division. 4 is a big ask, unfortunately. 41.5 is the total, but I'm going to stick to my guns here. I think the Panthers still suck, Tim, and I will take the Saints -4, and I can see myself being one of the few people out there actually backing the New Orleans Saints and trying to win by more than 4 points.
I think I just think it's a point too many. I don't think there's of any value on New Orleans here. I think there's a little bit on the Panthers. I don't really love either side that much. I think both teams are pretty bad. But I think should be 3.5 or 3, and it's 4. So I will take Carolina because I don't trust the Saints to win by margin yet. I have to prove it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many games are going to win by margin all year, Geoff, but if there's going to be one, it feels like this could be the one.
Yeah, it could be. But last year I was high on Carolina and it went to the shits. This year I think Carolina doesn't draft inside the top 7 this year.
Do you think they're going to be good then? Like 6 and 11 good?
Is that what that means?
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
5
7
and 11 is probably the floor. Yeah. I think they're going to be just below kind of mid when it's all said and done. Like if they won 4 games, that'd be a huge improvement. But I think, this is a team that's going from horrific to just below mid this year. We got a fun one. To start. I'm taking these points.
What did they really do in the offseason? Yeah, Canales is there. That should be an upgrade at the coaching position. Maybe they have a more efficient offense. They get Deontay Johnson and they draft Brooks, but he's not playing for 4 weeks. So they're still running Chuba Hubbard out of the backfield. And they seemingly got significantly worse on the defensive side of the ball. Maybe Leggett's awesome. Who knows? Probably not. I just don't see how they got any better.
Oh, I don't know. I see all those ads on TV for Chuba Hubbard and all the touchdowns that he scores every week.
Well, that's because we're in Canada.
They did what was arguably the most important thing, but isn't like a fantasy focal point, was really improve the middle of the offensive line. So, Bryce can maybe have a chance to make the plays. Well, I don't know. Like this Canales' whole resume seems to be like getting the best out of quarterbacks. I think they're just going to be fine. And if I think they're a fine team, like just below mid, then 4 points versus the Saints. It's not a hard decision, really.
Oh, for sure. Especially when the Saints could be the worst team in this division. I'm not going to pretend like that's definitely not on the table. It most certainly is. But I just think I think their defense is still solid enough. And Carr is, you want to talk about mid. Like there's the guy that's going to go out. He's going to drop back 40 times. He's going to throw for 280 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 picks. If he has that game this week, they're going to win by more than 4.
This is true.
And don't forget,
last year, week 1, they beat the piss out of the Titans.
Did they?
Yeah, they made Tannehill look disgusting. And then the Titans the next week beat the Chargers. And that's when I kind of knew in my heart, like, uh-oh.
See, you say take the under. Your grandfather told you to take the underdogs in week 1. Tim, I would actually say week 2 is the underdog week because everyone gets these notions in their head about weird stuff that happened in week 1, and they don't stick to their priors.
Week 3 is the big underdog.
What about week 5 then?
Once people feel like they've drawn a conclusion on teams is when they're actually the most dangerous to lose a lot of money.
Well, Tim, I don't know if we're going to make this a segment on this show, but I've entered myself in the circa millions this year. So we need to come up with 5 spread picks every single week. I might submit all 3 of our super locks every week, unless they go against each other, obviously.
Yeah, that would be fun.
And we'll win $1 million.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money. I'll be, you know what? If I win the $1 million, I'll do some fun giveaways on this show. That you can guarantee. But only if you use code Mayo at Underdog and you do that for me and leave those ratings and review, then you can be in the draw. If I win the $1 million, give you a chunk of money. How about that? Doesn't that sound good? Houston at Indianapolis. Indy is a 2.5 point dog at home. 48.5 is the over-under. Again, this is one of these weird week one things, Tim, where I actually like the Colts in this game to cover this number, maybe win outright. And just because people are picking the Texans to win the fucking Super Bowl. Like, let's calm down a minute here. Big cup of calm down juice on the Houston Texans. They're good. They're not great. What did they beat? 2 teams that made the playoffs last year, including the team that they beat in the first round, who had Joe Flacco at quarterback. Like, they're good. They're not great. I didn't pick them to win the division. I think the Colts are fine. I don't think the Colts are great, but I just in this division in particular, the underdogs just always seem to play well against divisional opponents.
This is the second end of the 6-point team tease. We're going to take the Colts up.
Oh, Colts up. Okay.
Gets me through some key numbers. I think it's actually a really smart tease.
You're going to get a Wong tease on the Colts this week against the Texans?
I just don't think that there is going to be more than 7 points between these two teams. I expect it to be close. I expect it to be a fascinating game. I think Indianapolis is going to do enough to score points, and therefore I don't think there's much of a chance of getting blown out. So I think it's going to be like a 34-27 type of game at worst. And so I'm going to take the Colts on both sides of things, but I'm less confident with their plus 2.5 than I am with teasing them up to 8.5.
Geoff, I think the thing that people forget about when Anthony Richardson was playing quarterback for those like 4 quarters that he played for last year is that they slow the game down by running and running and running. And they're so effective at doing it and moving the chains when you have that mobile quarterback. And now Jonathan Taylor is going to be 100% at least coming into the season. That I just think it shrinks down the amount of possessions that Houston's going to get to utilize the high-flying offense. And it's not like their defense is any great shakes. They get lit up all the time.
Houston's overrated. It feels like the Colts are underrated.
They're okay.
But it's weird that if we're all on Houston, all on Indy, that kind of feels sketchy. Because then it's like, okay, well, how overrated is Houston? These 3 goobers none of them picked them. They're supposed to be so hyped.
The coin picked them.
I like the concept of a healthy, somewhat healthy Colts team on opening day. I'm going to take the Colts. I think it's going to be a fun game. This is going to be the game that goes on the big screen because
wow.
No, like at the very end, because it's like the closest and it's late and this one's got to go up. I can't wait. A lot of fun games, this one included. I'm taking Indy, but I'd be lying if I said I had the strongest feel on it.
Well, here's something I want to throw out to you guys. It seemed like Steichen was a pretty good coach last year in getting the Colts to where he got them to, losing the 4th overall pick in the draft and having to play Gardner Minshew for the season. I thought their offense wasn't quite dynamic, but I think it was efficient with the players that they had. Whereas on the other side, DeMeco Ryans probably could have won Coach of the Year. But I guess my question to you, Tim, is do we know if DeMeco Ryans is actually a good coach or was CJ Stroud just really good and it made him look good?
A fair point. I mean, he probably is a good coach because to deal with what was a really untalented roster going into the season, such that like the show last year, no one even picked the Texans, and to be able to get them to that many wins, like it's more than just the factor of the quarterback.
I don't know. They now have the guy who is second in MVP odds for the year. That's that guy.
Well,
we didn't realize that
silly,
last
though.
year, but that's where he is right now.
Okay, but that's also silly. He's not quite that good either. But at the same point, like it's probably more Stroud than Ryans. You concede that. But I mean, it's a big question mark. I don't know. And I don't think this game will tell me anything about that either. I mean, losing a divisional game on the road is not going to be a decisive factor for me to decide, the Texans are frauds. Like, that happens.
Round of Indy, except for the coin, taking Houston. I think there are 4 games on this early slate, Geoff, that could be the big screen game, unless you have some sort of allegiance to one of these teams. I think it's...
No, we already know what ours is going to be. People will be demanding it if we don't.
Well, Houston, Indy, the next game, which we'll get to in a second, that is Jacksonville and Miami, I think is up there. Tennessee and Chicago and Pittsburgh, Atlanta, I think are the 4 games that could theoretically be on the big screen. I think they're all pretty good.
Not Giants, Vikings?
I mean, I'll have fun with that one. That'll be on a screen.
That'll be on the sadness screen.
No.
I don't think...
No, the New England-Cincinnati game is most definitely on the sadness screen. Or New Orleans and Carolina.
also has sad.
We have a friend who shows up every single week to watch football with us, and if it's Carolina, like he just looks for Carolina or New Orleans on the TV. He's like, "Oh, there's the sadness game."
Yeah, sounds right. I don't even have Atlanta, Pittsburgh in that group of 3, but I can see why. Like, it should be a good game. The question is, what starts on the big screen? What starts on the big screen?
I think
you can always change
Miami
it.
and Jacksonville is going to start either. I bet.
I mean, that would be my vote. I do think, like on paper, it's probably the best game.
Yeah,
That would be what the people in the room want.
And I believe. I mean, I guess we're at it, but without the intro, I just believe it's going to be as crazy as Dolphins Chargers last year. Like, I think it's going to be just a wild one. So it'll start and probably stay on that big screen.
I weirdly don't. So Miami's the 3-point favorite at home. 49 is the over-under. I just feel like this is the type of team, Tim, that the Dolphins absolutely annihilate.
No, I don't agree. This is a good team. They don't annihilate good teams. They annihilate bad teams.
But the Jags aren't a good team. They're a very okay team, at least in my opinion.
I think they're a good team. I think that Miami at home in September is supposed to be a huge advantage, but they catch another Florida team. So that mitigates that advantage. I don't like Miami in this game at all. I think Jacksonville's got to be the right side here. I just think they're more talented at quarterback. They're more talented at a lot of positions. As long as they don't single cover Tyreek Hill up and down the field, they're going to have every chance to win this game. I think Etienne should have no issue getting through that linebacking core that lost important pieces. Missing Wilkins is going to be a huge factor on the Dolphins' front four. Yeah, if they were playing a bad team in week 1, like the Patriots or something, yeah, I'd like the Dolphins to crush them. But they're playing a good team, and all the advantages of being at home in September are mitigated. So I just don't know how I think you either have to take the Jaguars or you don't touch the game.
It's funny, Jeff, because I was thinking about super locking in the Dolphins here. I think the Dolphins blow them out by like 25. I just don't think they have an answer for the speed on the Miami side of the offense. And I don't know how this offense is going to look for Jacksonville. Like, Christian Kirk is their number 1 receiver. I don't know how good Brian Thomas is. And honestly, I don't know how good Trevor Lawrence is.
I think Trevor Lawrence is good, and I think he's going to play great. It might be the 1 or 2 times this year where he's healthy, because it seemed like he was playing with 3 or 4 things simultaneously or one after another. I believe this is going to, and maybe you're right. Like, now I think about it, the heat and humidity, maybe that takes away from like the track meet back and forth game that Chargers Dolphins was last year. I just, this is going over. Like, both teams will hit their team totals. Dolphins defense has regressed. Tough time picking a winner. I'm going to lean Miami because I feel like Tim's already like,
whatever. You can pick either side of a game. I don't think it's the right side, but you do you.
Well,
I like Jacksonville. I don't know if they're as like dominant, as like great a team as Tim seems to.
They're not a great team, but the Dolphins lose to teams that are at least playoff caliber. And that's what Jacksonville is. They're playoff caliber. Dolphins don't beat teams like that. They don't even score against teams like that. They only score against bad teams. Look at last year. Go through the games last year and show how many good games they won.
The Dolphins do play the Thursday nighter, which I'm holding against the Bills.
Like, I have to ask you. I think that you're always big on these look ahead games from Sunday to Thursday night football. I feel like that's not a thing in week 1. Like, people are looking forward to week 1. That's what the focus is.
Okay, you're right. You're right. You're right. That's probably less of a thing in week 1 specifically, but it's a big rivalry game in just 4 days. So,
and if the Dolphins lose this week, they go into their second straight home game. We're looking at 0-2 and having very slim shot at the playoffs. So when you go 0-2 and you lose 2 games at home, like, that's a huge game for Miami.
Well, it'd be fun to talk about on Sunday Night Live, Tim, because do you know who the guest is joining us on Sunday Night Live for week 1?
I don't.
It's Gary. It's Garion.
Oh, well, I'm sure Gary will have lots of notes and he'll be funny and he'll be trying to explain why it is that Xavier Howard allowed bad play after bad play.
Is Xavier Howard even on this team anymore?
No,
I presumed he was. No, there you go.
I'm pretty sure he got cut.
Yeah, he's not on the team anymore. I didn't
Good.
is Gary like a notebook guy? He seems to be.
No, Gary takes notes when he knows he's coming on the show to talk about things. He's very well prepared.
Yeah, things he wants to like talk about with you.
And just in general, he's very conscientious about how he goes about the show.
Love Gary, and it's good. I'm happy the show's back. Hope the Chargers win. I'll enjoy watching it more in that case, because Tim's already gloating about a Raiders victory. But
I'm previsioning it.
I'm taking Miami. I believe like week 1, Mike McDaniel is not a fun matchup. It's just not a fun matchup. He's going to have things out there that, for as good as we think he is, we haven't even seen yet. And he puts you in a pretzel. And even when your quarterback has a go-ahead touchdown with under like 5 minutes to go, it doesn't mean anything because your defense gives it up in 40 seconds, and that starts the turn for a season of like your quarterback sucks and he can never like score in the fourth quarter. Because then when he gets the ball back with a minute left, he goes 3 and out. Because he can't score 2 touchdowns in 5 minutes. My fucking God.
I was told by someone in our fantasy football draft later on tonight, Tim, that Devin Achane is going to score 70 fantasy points in week 1.
Oh, God. No, what a bust. You draft him in your fantasy leagues. You deserve what you get.
So he's going to have a big game Sunday.
He's going to play like 4 games this year.
Well, this is going to be one of them, though.
Well, he'll start in it at least. You're right.
Well, he probably won't start. I would assume Colonel Mostert will start.
Yeah, great guy to be taking in the second round. A running back that doesn't even start.
Okay. So, round of Miami, except for Tim, who is on Jacksonville. Code Mayo at Underdog Fantasy right now. That will get you a deposit bonus of up to $1,000. And if you want to play in that season-long $25,000 of bonus cash on Underdog Pick'em Pool, hit the description. The link is down there. You put in your email, you put in your Underdog handle, and you're in the contest. All the rules are down there right now, so help us out and go do that. Another thing you can help us out with, and Geoff, maybe you can chime in. Paul, maybe you want to get in on it. Maybe Tim can know. We did the air fryer segment on Sunday Night Live last year. We need a new segment for this year. Now, I did order Aaron Rodgers' book, and I was going to start reading passages to Tim on the show, which I will do, but that might, run its course within 2 weeks when he's like out for the year or something.
Don't remember. I think like maybe sauces. Tim is so weird.
I'm weird.
With your sauce list, it's like kitchen condiments are wing sauces to you.
You really hung up on that one.
Yeah, he's obsessed with that, and I don't know why. Well, there's all kinds of places around that have things other than medium wings, which is what Geoff likes, and I like them too. But there's a lot of other.
You just listen.
Plum sauce.
Like
plum sauce is great on wings. One of the first questions I asked Meta AI was whether plum sauce is good on chicken wings, and the answer was yes.
I forgot that stretch when you were asking Facebook AI questions.
I still do.
What was the last thing you asked it?
I don't know. Let me look it up. It's the last thing I asked it. I'm on Facebook.
Can you give me a hock to?
Please don't say that.
Well, how do you clean your golf clubs? Give it a hock to.
Last thing I asked it. How do you prevent hooking a golf ball?
You ask it if it likes cold cheese sandwiches more than grilled cheese?
I can. You know what? I'll ask it right now.
Well, you fill us in on that answer. Will we get to the Ghostbuster game, Geoff? Darnold and the Vikings at the New York Giants. This is not a great stadium for Sam Darnold, as Tim learned throughout the years. But the Giants are a 1.5-point dog against the Vikings right now. I don't think that the Giants went in our season-long win total draft. They were one of 2 teams not selected. I like the Vikings here. I like Darnold here to throw a bunch of picks, maybe a bunch of yards. I like Justin Jefferson overs. I have no idea if they're going to win, but I'm going to side with them 1.5 in the opening week.
Yeah, I'm clearly a Vikings guy here. I don't believe they're nearly as bad as people are making them out to be or their season prospects. But if you can't beat the Giants, then, whoever said that is a fool. So I'll probably be a fool Sunday night, but I'm taking Minnesota. Sam Darnold hype train begins.
Listen, Sam Darnold just needs to be a slightly better version of Nick Mullins from last year, and they're going to score tons of points. It's this Flores defense that really let them down towards the end of the year.
Well, defense sucks. That's a problem.
Yeah, but the defense was punching
Like-
above its weight for like 8 straight weeks, and then all of a sudden it went to shit.
You look at the personnel. It's shocking that they were punching above their weight.
Agreed.
I'm just down. I'm down on all things Giants. But hey, the two teams that went undrafted in our pool last year were better than a handful of teams, right? Like Houston went undrafted in our pool, Arizona went undrafted in our pool last year. So I don't think the Giants are truly that bad, but I gotta pick the Vikings if I've kind of been vouching for them all summer.
I'll be doing a rankings update and injury report on Sunday morning, or maybe even after the Friday night game, depending on what time that finishes up. I'm also going to be giving away my favorite underdog props, which you can use in that pool, by the way. And Justin Jefferson is one of my favorites of the week at higher than 82.5 yards against this Giants team, Tim.
I don't know. I am just not ever going to lay points on the road with Sam Darnold. I think that that this is a cardinal sin that's being committed here. I don't care how bad the Giants are. Like the Vikings are starting Sam Darnold. That team is not that great. Their win totals are not that high. No, I'm taking the Giants here. I can't possibly lay points with Sam Darnold on the road in week 1. I think that's silliness. I'm sorry.
I actually think when we poll the viewers on which side that they want to take in this game, Geoff, that Tim's argument is going to be the winning argument. Like, in my brain, that sounds right. Like, Sam Darnold on the road as a favorite? Yeah, let's not do that. But we're doing it.
Yeah, I'm going to do it. I don't know. See, because the sentiment on the Giants is they could be, part of the nut low this year. And I don't think most people, even the people who don't like Darnold, think the Vikings are going to be in that tier of bad. So I don't know. But it's a game of no interest. Obviously, you might have made a joke about the big screen. This game is just like corner TV. Not that nut low TV, but it's like position, 7 of 8 or 6 of 7.
Well, fortunately, we have the 8 games, and I have 8 TVs, so everyone's going to get a game. But, Tim, if it came down to it and there was 9 games, and you have that Minnesota Giants game, or you have this next game, Patriots at Cincinnati, which one would get cut? Or are you like a reverse masochist where you just want to see punishment be delivered to the Patriots, and you need that on a big screen?
No, I don't, because I don't think punishment is going to be delivered to the Patriots in this game. I will take points, and I think it's going to be a somewhat close game. I think the Bengals will win, but I think it's going to be very close. Whether Chase plays or not is really up in the air. I'd say you probably lean towards no at this point, but it could happen. I don't know. Again, people have completely written off the Patriots for good reason. That's not a talented roster. But like the Jags were the worst team in football, and they won in week 1 before they lost 15 straight games. Like a team that's really bad can get up in week 1, particularly a disrespected team. I think it's going to be a close game. I don't know the Patriots are going to have a lot of close games this year, but they're going to be close here. I'm going to take the points.
I'm taking the points, too. I do think that Jamar Chase ends up playing, though, Geoff. But I don't know how many snaps he's going to end up playing, considering he hasn't practiced yet this year. He's at practice, like watching, but he's not doing anything.
It's a horrible sign when this game is going so wrong, because everyone's eliminators, that it has to get to the big screen. Like when this game that's supposed to start out where it is in that chain of TVs ends up on a big screen, the Bengals are like down a touchdown.
I just worry that, like, we can talk about this, and it sounds like you're picking New England as well in the points at 8.5. Oh, you're not. You're taking Cincinnati. I just feel like if Cincinnati can get to 17 points, they're probably going to cover this number. That's the issue here. They'll win this game 20-6 or something.
No, this got more like 17-10 written all over it.
I don't know if maybe I'll be
maybe
pleasantly
17-13, maybe 20-13. I think it's going to be a low-scoring, close game. The Patriots show up at least in this game.
I think their defense shows up. I just have a lot of questions about this offense.
And like, when have the Bengals historically ever been a good starting team?
That's the whole thing. Remember when McPherson missed how many field goals against Pittsburgh?
He missed an extra point. He missed an extra point, then a game-winning field goal. It was devastating. Last year they got eviscerated by a divisional team. Like, I don't know. I just don't trust the Bengals to start hot. and the entire world and everybody's survivor picks are all going to be on the Bengals. And you know what? I just don't need any part of that.
Pittsburgh and Atlanta. Atlanta is a 3-point favorite at home in this spot. 42 is the over-under. I don't like either of these teams this year. I think if you laid it out on paper that the Falcons probably would look a lot more dynamic. This is the Arthur Smith Revenge Bowl as he is taking over play calling duties from the Steelers. Also, Cordero Patterson has a revenge game here against the Atlanta Falcons. I like the Steelers +3. It's another one of those things where Atlanta probably wins by 3, but I think that's sort of their out. Just give me all the points, Geoff.
I've never been a Falcons believer. I'm a Falcons believer. I got real money on a Steelers under. The spread was like 1 point a few weeks ago. So the season being here and the sketchiness of the Steelers has brought that movement. I'm on the Falcons. They'll just start right. Please don't fuck around. Like, I really want to see them be awesome. Everyone seems to think it feels less improbable than I thought, but I'm cheering for it. I love Raheem Morris.
Tim, what's the best unit in this game, do you think?
Atlanta's offense.
I was going to say it's Pittsburgh's defense.
I agree with Pat.
Okay. I mean, they had TJ Watt. I get it. And they had Minka Fitzpatrick. Like, I get it.
And they got Patrick Queen now as well.
That's true. And that's a fair point.
And like it feels like their defense got better from last year, and they were already the 9th ranked defense overall, whereas Atlanta was bottom. Where the hell was Atlanta? Can't even find them here. Atlanta was the 17th ranked defense last year. Sorry, the 30th ranked defense. That makes more sense. No, 30th ranked against the pass. I'm sorry about that. They were the 24th defense overall, and Pittsburgh was 7th. So I was wrong on that one. But I feel like there's a lot of wish casting on the Atlanta offense, that you have all these names because they were drafted highly. People draft them high in fantasy, and obviously Arthur Smith just wasn't able to use them to the best of their abilities. But I feel like when everyone is assessing Atlanta, which, I mean, I could be wrong on this. I fully admit that until they actually do something, maybe they're just not that good.
Yeah, I wouldn't fight you here. I am going to take the Falcons, but I totally understand why someone would take Pittsburgh. I think I'm not convinced about this game really in either direction, other than Atlanta does tend to play better at home. And I am still quite skeptical that Russell Wilson won't throw them out of the game.
We'll see. I just think there's going to be a lot of running from the Pittsburgh offense. And I think you'll see Justin Fields in this game running around. The Jaylen Warren seems like he's going to be healthy enough to play. So between him, Najee, Fields, and Cordero Patterson, in my mind, it's a lot like that Colts game where they're going to do enough to shrink the game to limit the amount of possessions. And then there's the whole bugaboo that no one really talks about, that, just Kirk Cousins is healthy. We're just going to believe that, although we haven't seen him in a year.
I'm not concerned with a quarterback coming off an Achilles. That doesn't bother me.
How come he wasn't able to come back last year like Aaron Rodgers?
Well, he came later in the year. That's why.
So he's fine, is what you're saying.
I'm not worried about it.
Okay.
I mean, if Pittsburgh dummies them and they look, Atlanta just looks so careless, and
I'm not overreacting from one game, no matter what happens this week. Unless there's a big injury, I am not overreacting going into next week.
I mean, the Falcons, despite their home field prowess, like you said, did lose to the Buccaneers, Vikings, and Commanders at home last year.
Well, Buccaneers are a divisional team. Vikings, that's a road dome game. And the Commanders, well, that's a bad loss.
Those aren't 3 great teams.
No, I agree.
They're slightly below the Pittsburgh level. Pittsburgh.
Well, I mean, Tampa went to the second round of the playoffs.
Sure, but did anyone think that Tampa was a good team?
No.
I think Atlanta's going to be legitimately good, not just NFC South good.
It feels like you want Atlanta to be good, but have no real reason to believe that they're good.
I think
everybody's speculating.
Sure, but what is it? They're going to beat up on the crappy teams in their division, and that makes them good? That doesn't make them good. It's sort of they fall into the Jacksonville camp for me. I think Jacksonville wins the South and the AFC. I just don't think that's a strong division. If they can pile up 4 or 5 wins in division, they'll win the division. Atlanta's probably going to be the same way. That's why I didn't pick Atlanta, and I picked New Orleans, because I just think it's a complete coin flip. Once these teams play teams out of division, I don't think they're going to be any good.
Listen, you nailed it last year. and I respect your position that, like, especially based on the odds, the gap between Atlanta and whoever you decide is the second best team there is too big. So it's worth taking a shot at. You nailed it last year. I swerved off Atlanta last year to back the wrong team, but I'm in. I really am on board. And even their late additions on defense in the offseason, yeah, I'll get sucked in. I'm in. Kool-Aid Falcons.
Last game of the early slate. The coin and I are taking Pittsburgh, and you two are taking Atlanta, by the way. This is going to be a fun game. Levis versus Caleb. The Bears are 3.5-point favorites at home. It's going to be an exciting game to watch. 45 is the total. I'm kind of torn. The Bears really do seem like the better team in every facet of the game, but Tim, you picked the Bears to go to the Super Bowl. If people miss the NFC win total show, that's what Tim took. So I assume this is going to be a super lock for you?
Not a super lock, but I like the Bears to win and cover. That's for sure. And I like the over of the game. No, I'm not going to tease them through 0. I refuse to do that. But I like them a lot here. I think they should win. I think they should score 30-ish points. It should be a fun game.
I have a question, Geoff. Everyone seems to be in on the Bears as being a good team. Their over-under was 9, and it was bet to the under, obviously, because that's a lot of wins for a rookie quarterback to get to 10, and that's the bar that you need to get to win that bet. But the Titans were pretty low in a bad division. Yet this number's only 3.5. I'm taking the Titans. Fishy line, Geoff. Fishy line.
Fishy. I'm with you for all the. Listen, if Chicago ends up being right, I'll get on board. I'm rooting for all, the beaten down Bears fans to have their moment. I feel sorry for them that Tim went all in on them. We've seen that didn't exactly land well with your audience, Pat. But when I'm not doubting it could happen. I'm just betting against it because it doesn't happen often. Like the rookie quarterback team with the hype. I'm just going to fade it until my eyeballs tell me not to. And it could be the second goddamn play of this game where I'm like, I went against Chicago this week. Not again. The kid's the king. I believe he's going to be awesome, but I'm on the Titans this week. It's not that easy. Bears fans have been through so much, and I'm sorry to report from my outsider point of view, it's just not as easy as everyone is making it out to be. Lines seem fishy. Give me Le Titan. Maybe they win this game outright. It's going to be so much fun, Pat. Like 50-yard touchdowns, pick sixes, back and forth. Back and forth.
I think that's what we want it to be, and when we get there, it's gonna be like 13-10, and like everyone's like the Bears' defense is good, so I can see Levis being completely incompetent here. And for as much as Tim wants to say he loves Caleb Williams, picking the Bears, going behind him, this is the same guy that was completely out on Caleb Williams after watching him against Notre Dame. Which Tim, who did he throw to in that game? The other team.
Yeah, whatever. My opinion is my opinion. I'm standing by it.
Well, you didn't stand by the first one.
No, but I am allowed to change my mind once the person gets drafted into the league, and I get to watch a lot more tape.
It will be funny when neither of these teams break 20 points.
I don't think that'll happen. I think it's gonna be
because I am expecting I don't want to say it's not even an insult, but both quarterbacks are pretty reckless and always trying to make huge plays, which will either result in huge plays or turnovers and short fields. So I am expecting a total show. And if I my vote among my group, it only counts for one, but I would probably vote this to start on the big screen because my intrigue is so high here.
It is very intriguing. I'm excited to watch it, and I want to see Williams and Levis be good. I think that'd be pretty exciting. Obviously, I have a bit more faith in Caleb being good than Will Levis being good. I think you'll see one or two 80-yard throws down the field from Will Levis, and you just have to hope there's pass interference or DeAndre Hopkins comes down with it. And that's going to be kind of what they do. But I guess with Spears and Pollard, it's a sort of a new look offense for the Titans. And I think that's one part of the Titans that we're overlooking a little bit. And it did seem, Geoff, like they improved their defense in the offseason, especially lately.
I mean, they got Snead from Kansas City. They made Melvin... I can't even say his name because I don't even want to be beeped. But I made that guy a captain. But yeah, no, they made some some nice additions. I'm fascinated with Brian Callahan as the head coach because he made Jake Browning look like really freaking good. He made Jake Browning look really freaking good and would drop wide open receivers. So we're all fascinated to see what he's going to do with Levis, and maybe he's just going to just drop open receivers for Levis. So they keep drafting on the O-line. Should be good by now. Vrabel's gone. So people are like, we just had this. I think you said it on the win totals show, Pat. I feel like it resonated with me so hard. Like, Vrabel was just like the Titans and what we thought of them and when we bet them, and you'd blindly sometimes just take points with them because of how consistent he was in those spots. Again, fascinated. Probably number one fascinated game for me week 1.
The 3-game pick'em slip that I made for underdog, Geoff, all come from these early games. I mentioned Justin Jefferson, 82.5 over receiving yards. Play 2 other overs because, overs can't lose. That's what I hear. Darnell Mooney in that Atlanta game, I do have higher than 33.5 receiving yards. I like Darnell Mooney this year on Atlanta. And then DJ Moore, 62.5 receiving yards. I don't know who it's going to be between Keenan Allen and Rome Odunze. I would guess it's Keenan Allen, but I kind of know. I mean, I don't know, but I really do feel like DJ Moore is going to be the alpha guy there.
I'd put DJ Moore ahead of all of them. I'm fascinated what Keenan's going to be this year. I had a chance to draft him in my home league yesterday and didn't.
Really? Did you take Josh Palmer instead?
No Chargers, which really shocked the room. Like, not a single Charger. No one to overdraft anymore.
Well, we're at the midway point of the show, which means it is time for a mini version of Cust Corner.
Cust Corner, it's Cust Corner. Cust Corner, it's Cust Corner. He's got the hottest takes with the highest stakes. He should be president of the United States, but it's Cust Corner, it's Cust Corner. Cust Corner,
So I decided earlier this week, because it was new, that I had to try the brand new burger at McDonald's, the Big Arch. And I'm going to just say, I am so done with fast food places putting loose lettuce and loose crispy onions on burgers and stuff and sandwiches, because it all falls out of the sandwich. You don't get to eat it the way it's meant to. It all falls on the cardboard. Here I am, like a dummy, sitting in my car eating the sandwich. The onion pieces are going everywhere. The lettuce is going everywhere. It's a complete and utter mess, and you can't concentrate or focus on the thing that you're trying to eat because you're so absolutely petrified of where all these little pieces are going to fall. I don't understand what possesses places to put together sandwiches that have shredded lettuce and loose onions that fall out all over the place. Like, as a customer, that's just an aggravation for me. I like lettuce. I like those onions. I want to enjoy them, but I can't because they're all spilled all over the place. Then you end up eating them afterwards when you're finished the sandwich. And it's like, I don't want to do this. This is not the way it's meant to be eaten.
But you do.
It's meant to be eaten on the sandwich. Well, of course I do. I bought it. I paid for it. I'm not going to not eat the crispy onions. But the fact of the matter is they're supposed to be eaten in tandem with the sandwich. And so, like, I don't understand why. And McDonald's is not the only place with shredded lettuce. Why places do this just cause aggravation for its customers? Who's asking for this? Who shreds lettuce at home? If you make a hamburger at home for yourself and you put lettuce on it, you don't shred it into pieces where you throw it on your burger. Of course not. You have like a good sizable leaf of that lettuce. Wendy's does that, but so few places do. It made me so upset because those aren't cheap burgers. And I really was excited to try this brand new burger they had brought out. And I came away thinking this was just an absolute mess, and I didn't like that experience. And that really bothered me.
Did you like the burger?
It was like an 8 out of 10. Like, I think it has.
Hold on. Does that mean? No. We don't know that for sure. The lowest rated piece of food Tim has ever given something is like a 7 out of 10. So 8 out of 10 might be like actively bad.
I think I gave the McRib like a 5. So, like, it has potential to be awesome because it's like 2 quarter-pounder patties. It's got this like tangy mustardy sauce. It's got lettuce and pickles and 3 slices of white cheddar and real stuff. But it's like, and so it's huge, which is a problem. I think it's a bit too big. But the real problem is it just keeps falling apart. And like pieces are going everywhere, and then you have to like spend 10 minutes cleaning up your car afterwards.
Well,
'cause
why
you've got
why
lettuce
why do
over
you
here
have
and lettuce
why
over
do
there.
you have to clean up your car? I believe you were gifted a car tray to specifically for this purpose from Paul last year.
I bought
I
that for you
should have-
last
I-
year, and it sounds
I
like
know,
you've
and
lost it and you're eating like a slob. And I'm never buying you a gift again. At
I
this
actually
point,
have it in my car between the seats, and I just didn't want to. I just wanted to eat it right away. I was hungry, and I wanted to go right at it. I honestly didn't want to take the time to set the table up because you actually have to like
the 6
put
seconds
it over the steering wheel, and anyway, I was just in a frenzy to eat it right away. I didn't want to wait a second longer once I had it.
But
I
then
had
you were
like
staring at it.
I also, this is going to sound a little crazy. I had a prime parking spot where there was no one around me. And so I didn't want to wait in case someone else like parked near me while I was eating. I wanted to do it while I was in the prime spot when there was no one around. So anyway, long story short.
hold on. What designates a prime spot in a McDonald's parking lot to eat your burger that you refuse to eat inside?
Just the way I was parked, it was like no one to my left, no one to my right, no one in front of me, no one behind.
Privacy.
Yeah, I had this like privacy exactly. That just, I don't know. I just prefer that if I could have that.
Why?
I don't know. It just makes me feel better. I don't know why. I can't explain it. Because I like it.
You tried to jam this thing into your gullet as fast as possible. You can't even set up the tray that takes 6 seconds.
Honestly, I needed what I should have asked for. And if I were ever to order again, I'd ask for a set of a fork and a knife to cut it in half.
Oh no!
In order to manage it, it's that big of a burger. It's that big of a like. I do that at like gourmet places. Like if you get a hamburger or whatever, I cut it in half and then we'll eat one half and then the other.
So I do for my
just
kids.
You just get out of your car and go inside. Sit
I
at
didn't
a
want
table.
to. I didn't want to do
What
that.
do you think it saves you? Like 50 seconds?
That's too many seconds. Apparently, you got to get that down his throat as quickly as possible.
No, because then you're done. He's finished and he has to stand up, get out of his car, and like
shake it
wipe
off
the meal off him.
Not out of the car. I'm not going to litter. I do everything in the bag.
How do you do that in the bag?
You just sort of shake it off or pick it off and put it in the bag.
And then you scoop it from the bag into your mouth?
No. That stuff obviously is trash. It's touched clothing, which is dirty. You don't want to eat that.
If your clothing is that dirty that you like, if you dropped a crispy onion on you dropped a crispy onion on your shorts, you wouldn't eat that?
No, they're covered in germs at that point. I'm not gonna do that.
I understand the concept.
This is crazy.
I don't know. We've done this before. I like people like, okay, you buy it, you eat it. You eating and driving, I find weird, but
you could not drive and eat this thing. This thing is too colossal.
But I just mean like, I find the eating in the parking lot beside the sit down restaurant like one of the weirdest common things. But hey,
I mean, how common is it? If you just like patrolled and took a cruise around a McDonald's or a Wendy's or a Burger King or wherever, how many people do you think are in the parking lot eating?
That decent number.
Like, what do you say?
More than you think, Pat.
More than you think.
How high? I'm asking you, how many do you think?
Probably between 4 and 5 people at any given normal time
during the lunch hour.
Exactly. Not at 2 a.m. or whatever, but like, yeah, at 12:30 in the afternoon. Yes. So probably between 5 and 6 people are doing that.
Percentage of orders at a fast food restaurant where people take that food and go to their car and eat it. They don't eat it inside. They don't bring it to wherever they're going and eat it. They stop in their car, park in the parking lot, and eat it.
Yeah, they whip through the drive-through and they eat it. It's weird.
5 to 10%, maybe a little higher.
So 1 in 20.
There's a whole industry that there's a tray.
Yeah, like this is what a lot of people do.
I mean, that doesn't sound like a lot of people. You just said 1 in 20.
But that adds up real quick. That's a sizable amount of people.
I get like kind of, like just like,
but like don't make burgers that are messy for me. I don't want to be covered in messy lettuce and onions. Like it defeats the purpose. It makes me frustrated.
How many wouldn't have been covered if you ate at a table
or set up your tray?
But you still gave it an 8 out of it.
Then it all falls in the
the experience sounded way worse for you than an 8 out of 10.
I think that burger has potential to be like a 9.5 out of 10. It was like flavor wise, it's there, but if half of the constituent parts keep falling into the cardboard or falling on you, like that's a loss. Like that's something I'm thinking about.
Do you want this to be regular menu item?
I think that's the intention, is to make it. It's already on the extra value menu. I think it's number 2 already on the extra value menu list. if you go to McDonald's. Like I think
Is
the intent.
Is it available to Americans?
I don't
Or
know.
just-
Well, here-
I believe they're testing it out here to see, like the chicken Big Mac was tested out here to see if it will work in the United States.
So the Big Arch, if people are wondering, is 2 quarter-pounder beef patties layered with 3 slices of white processed cheese and topped with crispy onions, slivered onions, pickles, lettuce, and delicious Big Arch sauce served on a toasted sesame seed and poppy seed bun. Does sound pretty enticing.
It is good.
I will give
It
you
is
that.
good.
Here are some fun facts about it. If you had to guess, set a line for calories on this one burger, what would you set it at?
1,200.
And would you take
It's
the
under
over or under of that, Tim?
It's under that.
Do you know what it is?
I think it's between 950 and 1050, depending on how much additions you get.
It's without any additions. The stock Big Arch is 1,050 calories and will give you 140% of your daily saturated and trans fat and 110% of your daily sodium.
Well, one of its selling features is that it is supposed to be satiating. So, like, if that's what you're having, you kind of don't want to have anything else afterwards. Like, you're kind of good.
Now, what else did you order with your Big Arch?
Just the combo.
Yeah, so you got a large fry and a drink
No,
and a Big Arch.
a medium fry, and a Diet Coke.
You don't make your fries large at McDonald's? Like if you're
No,
gonna go to
medium
McDonald's,
fries.
why not get the large fries?
I actually find the large fries are often too much. I've complained
You're
about
just
this
talking
during the
about-
Monopoly
You're
show.
talking about eating a fucking Big Arch.
The thing about McDonald's fries is that they go from perfect to not that perfect pretty quickly.
Yeah, but you don't seem to have
And
any
so-
problem finishing it within 30 seconds of getting it.
I'm just saying, I think the medium fry, particularly with a burger as colossal as this, a medium fry is perfect for it. And the Diet Coke doesn't add any calories. So,
Okay.
Jeff, do you ever not supersize your meal? Maybe because I go and eat fast food so infrequently that when I go, I'm like, yeah, I'm going all in if I'm going. It's not like a Tuesday for me. And then a Wednesday and a Thursday and a Friday all at the same time, just ordering the same things over and over again. But just, I don't know, if I'm going to go and have, like McDonald's is known for one thing, it's fries. Like they have the best fries. You get a ton of fries.
I agree with you, but I also agree with Tim that like when I do get the large, I find it's a lot, but
yeah,
it's good.
it is.
But fries, the large fries is what I most often redeem my points with. I find it's the best value.
I respect that. I think the breakfast is the place to redeem your points. But anyway, that's another conversation. I think there's real value on that breakfast menu.
Posted on the Reddit.
I've got a whole new strategy for Monopoly too that's based around the breakfast.
When is that again, Monopoly?
Not for like another month. But like I think I'm going to do just breakfast.
So coffee, hash
I think
browns.
that's where the value is. Yeah, McMuffins, like that's where the value is. They're cheaper than like all the other stuff that you get at the dinner menu.
Pat, hear me out.
I'm here.
Just
I'm listening.
Because when you start the day at breakfast, it sets up the 2-a-days. Like it's so much easier to complete the 2-a-days when you go for.
Well, you can't do it 2 a day if you don't have one to start. That is true. But I'm not going to do those. I'm not planning to do 2-a-days. I'm planning to just take advantage of the breakfast part of the menu in order to win. Because I'm going to get one of the big prizes this year. I have a feeling. Feel like I'm due. Like I'm not even saying that like, to laugh. Like I mean that. Like I feel like I'm due finally.
Well, I mean, you think
Like,
you think that you have a 1 in 100 chance of living to 117 years old. I'm not surprised you think you're due to win one of the big prizes in McDonald's Monopoly.
Well, I do.
Nothing is more frustrating than when you are trying to like get something in the convenience store and you end up
behind the
like,
lotto ticket guy,
the regular lottery guy. It's and even the cashier, like they feel for you because they know like the draw you just pulled. Like, oh, you can't pull a worse goddamn draw.
That is awful.
And that's like
agree.
Tim thinking he's due.
I don't know. That's quite the same.
Trust me, they probably got a better chance.
I mean, Tim with McDonald's Monopoly is akin to the scratch card guy that just like scratches the barcode and tells you to run it. Doesn't even want to scratch the ticket. Just like, here, did I win? Did I win? Give me another 100. Did I win? Did I win? If you could do that for McDonald's Monopoly, that's what you would be doing.
I've long told you, yes, I wish I could just buy the stickers.
Yeah, but you don't even want the stickers. You just want to see if you won or not. Like if there was a barcode you could scan, that'd be much more preferable to you.
Yes,
Tim,
absolutely.
What would you pay for like a rack of like hot cups? And by hot cups, I mean like an employee stole like a.
No, nothing. I would not participate in that.
What if they had guaranteed winners in it though?
I'm sorry. Then
You could get yourself a Dodge Viper, Tim.
That would be
You'd be the coolest 73-year-old around.
No, I wouldn't get the genuine credit that I would deserve for winning, because I would know deep down I didn't really win it. I played the system, and I wouldn't consider that. I didn't put all this effort into it to take a shortcut.
Did anyone watch?
It's deranged to think a McDonald's game win is like in your future or due or like serendipitously coming your way.
I am due. Few people care about this as much as I do.
That doesn't mean anything.
Look, it doesn't mean anything to you, but believe it or not, you're not the king of all things to decide what does and doesn't matter.
Yeah, but I think what Geoff is getting to is that you caring about it affects it in no way whatsoever.
I just want it more. Okay, I just want it more.
So you're not. So what you're saying that Geoff's not trying to win when he pulls the sticker, and that's affecting his odds. That's what you're saying.
No, but Geoff's not going as often as he could go if he was really into win.
Did anyone watch the Netflix Fincher movie, The Killer?
No,
it was quite good.
Was that the one where he was the assassin, but it
Yeah.
was slow? Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, but he got McDonald's breakfast when he was on his stakeout, but he didn't eat any of the. He just basically got a bunch of McSausages, but just took out the sausages and ate the sausages in the morning. It's a good move. I did that on our golf trip, Tim. I went to McDonald's early in the morning. I got myself 3 sausage McMuffins and just ate all the sausage out of it. That was my morning meal. Delicious.
Yeah, you should eat the egg too. The egg is obviously better for you.
It's more better,
is
it?
English. That's good. That's good English. But the egg is obviously better for you.
I don't know.
They also have the sausage muffin, which is just cheese and.
You can. Oh yeah. Believe me, you can just get the. That's the sausage McMuffin.
No, not McMuffin.
No. If you order the sausage McMuffin is the sausage without the egg. The sausage and egg McMuffin is the one with the. Are you trying to lecture me on this?
Sorry.
I order this all the time. I know what it's called.
Sorry, I'm genuinely sorry.
Okay, there's a lot of things I don't know a lot about, but I know what's on the menu.
Now, you might think that the egg is more better, which you're probably right. I don't like how the eggs taste at McDonald's.
They're real eggs. They actually crack them fresh.
I understand that. They don't taste right. Like when I cook an egg at home and I crack it, it doesn't taste like it does at McDonald's. So,
well, you don't quite cook them on the same type of top either.
Yeah, I think I prefer how I cook them much better. Like I'd rather make my own eggs. I'm not going to sit there and make sausage patties at home. I just want to get that influx of protein and be on my way without all the carbohydrates.
I like their eggs
more than regular eggs.
I mean, they are regular eggs because it's just a fresh egg that they've cracked. I don't see a huge difference.
I don't know.
Way less McDonald's in my future because summer drink days are.
That's as I said on Twitter today. It's the surest sign that summer has ended. Dollar drink days have gone away.
Now that I think about it, Geoff, I don't really love eggs outside of my house. If that makes any sense.
You like the egg bites at Starbucks?
I do, but I like those because I go to the gym, I get them, they're a quick meal, so I can get my protein into myself and I can be on my way. Like that's more of a convenience and low calorie thing with high protein. It's not that I'm like going out of my way because I love them so much.
No, but the economists have this distinction between revealed preferences and stated preferences. And if you're buying something all the time, even if you say you don't like it, you actually do like it. That's a reveal.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that I eat far more eggs at home than anything else. That's where I eat the majority of my eggs. That's where the egg consumption comes from. I like those ones at Starbucks, but if I had the choice between making eggs at home and getting those, I'd make the eggs at home.
Yeah, I mean, I like home eggs too.
And like Tim's egg rankings.
I bet you eggs would be good on a Blackstone.
Maybe.
Sure.
I just there's very.
I've looked at Blackstones. I just don't know if
I see some of those. I get in the rabbit holes online.
Yeah,
people
me
make
too.
Some great breakfasts on those suckers.
Me too. Which is why I got sucked into them too. I was like, gee, I can make some. Really
but your
breakfast.
egg list, I remember, like most of your lists, being gross.
Okay.
Without specifics.
That's good that you don't know what it was about. Just that you remember your visceral reaction to it.
It's true.
All right.
Egg. Yeah, don't call it a McMuffin. That has eggs, please.
Denver and Seattle. is the first game of the late slate. Seattle.
Like when I told Geoff who the fullback was on the Chargers, and he jumped down my throat as if he wouldn't know who the fullback was on the
You
Chargers.
said Geoff didn't even know who that guy was.
You're right. I tried to correct you, just like you tried to correct me.
And I showed you a tweet from like a week before
You
me
did.
talking about the guy.
I agree. That's why I think it's a great analogy.
Sorry, it made me angry again that you stepped on me there.
I don't want the
Sorry.
show to be 3 hours. Also, I won't let Pat move on because I need to needle Geoff more.
Whatever.
Passion, drive, patience. The formula for winning championships is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. Supercharger, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need at the prices you want. It's easy to make your car the MVP and bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only, exclusions apply. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Kids are always learning and growing, but as adults, sometimes we lose that curiosity. What's something you'd like to learn? Gardening? A new language? Or, for me personally, how to finally beat your best friend in golf? Not Cust, but, my other friends. I want to beat them at golf. I can beat Cust, no problem. Therapy can help reconnect you with your sense of wonder because your back-to-school era can come, honestly, at any age. It's helpful learning positive coping skills and how to set boundaries, and it empowers you to be the best version of yourself. It isn't just for those who've experienced major traumas. If you're thinking about starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. All the best things that you need. Just fill out a brief questionnaire and get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Rediscover your curiosity with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/PatMayo today and get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/PatMayo. Denver and Seattle. Seattle's favored by 6 in this game. The total is 42. I don't really know what to make of this. I think the Seahawks are better. They haven't been as great at home in the past few years as their historic run under Russ Buss, but I don't know. Can the Broncos keep this one close, Geoff?
This could be my super lock because this spread, you watch the football shows and Broncos are so great. The Broncos are, Bo Nix is the man. Can I tell you what's going to happen with Bo Nix?
No.
I think it's going to be very like Mac Jones-esque. What you see will probably be his ceiling. Guy's been in college forever, so he should be fine. But what you see quickly is probably going to be as good as he is. I don't see some insane trajectory coming first round quarterbacks. I really like Seattle here. The Mike McDonald defense gonna confuse the shit out of the kid. I'm not buying any of this Broncos hype. The hype has allowed some plus money on Broncos unders. I will lay the 6 here. I don't know why everyone all of a sudden loves the Broncos. Peyton also with the Saints, even historically horrible, really shit week 1 coach. So that continues.
As someone who didn't have a strong feeling on this, Geoff has sold me. I'm with him with Seattle.
You just hate Sean Payton, I think.
No, but I wasn't convinced with this because it is a decent sized spread. I wasn't convinced one way or the other.
It's a weird spread. It's almost too high, right?
Yeah, it is. That's why I was like, geez. I mean, that does seem like a lot, but you've sold me with your passion. So I will jump with you on Seattle.
Yeah, you're the clam chowder of the Seattle Seahawks. I'm feeling the passion here, Geoff. What do you think's higher, the spread or you?
The spread. The spread is higher than me. I'm self-aware enough. I'll own it when I'm truly spinning. I'm just excited. This is just life. Seattle, the home field advantage, it's kind of wavered a bit in recent years, but week 1 in Seattle, I believe, is a true home field advantage. Give me Seattle. I'm laying this 6. It seems high. I could see it. I almost rather it be 6 than that awkward like 5.5. You know, I'm always scared shitless of those. So if it stays at 6, I'll almost feel better.
And you can throw Seattle into a teaser at 6 too. Not that I'm doing that, but you certainly could.
As someone who might put money on this game, I would prefer, if I'm betting Seattle, for the line to be plus 5.5. I would just like to have that out there rather than 6. That's just my stance, though. That's how I feel, Geoff.
Listen, I don't want to do this because I always like to ask Pizzola about it, like on the golf course. And what I do not understand. And I'm like, I just mentioned being self-aware, not the smartest guy in the room. I actually like to ask the really smart guys questions and hope I'm not too high to absorb what they're telling me back. Half points are life. You know, all of a sudden it's one stupid fucking personal foul at the end of a 3rd down. And it's like, you have no control over that. These guys live and die by like 5-cent lines and half points. And these refs are just like giving them away like Sadaka all game long.
It's just my stance that I would like to bet on a team with a lower number to cover a spread.
No, I agree.
What was the question? What was the question?
No, there's not even a question. I agree. You want the points. You want the extra point or the extra less. I am just so fascinated how like 4 cents means so fucking much. But like on the 3rd play of the game, there's a horrible penalty call that's worth way more than 4 cents.
I see what
and
you're
it's like
saying.
instantly gone.
Yeah, but you don't think that's factored into the modeling that they're doing? Is the variance of that? Because it has to be.
Okay, fine. Then my next thought, and listen, there's guys that do it. Like I know Pizzola. Pizzola makes a great living betting on sports. He is so good at it.
Oh, just ask him. If he sold his picks, he'd be a quadrillionaire.
No, he's not. He's not about like that specific aspect. He's not about that specific aspect of it. And I get it's baked into the modeling, but for as smart as these guys are, it's like they're so much out of the control of the modeling that I don't understand how to even trust it. If that makes sense. This isn't like anyone's specific modeling. I just see all these guys, they live and die by, half points and 4 cents. And it's like, I don't know. The dumbest things happen all through the game. The refs have way too much control and they know that. So I don't know how you model for it, but they're smarter than me and they do it. Like I know Pizzola could work like downtown one of those big towers if he want to and like make a fortune. So he's obviously like doing really good doing what he's doing because I know what he could be doing.
Male stripping? $50 for a Hawk 2 from Rob Pizzola.
Oh my God.
Would you take that, Geoff? Or is that too high or too low? What's
No,
higher?
I'm taking
that charge or the Seattle spread for you?
I'm taking Seattle.
Okay.
And I'm going to have real money on this thing.
All right, you sold me. It's a round of Seattle for all of us. Vegas at the Chargers. The Chargers are favored by 3 points. 40.5 is the total. You get Harbaugh. You get Herbert. Is Herbert okay? He's playing, right?
Yeah, I don't know why some things on the internet are giving me heartburn about like, I don't believe any of nothing real. He's going to be practicing in full tomorrow. If he's not, I'll have a heart attack. That's my expectation is that he's going to be practicing in full tomorrow. He practiced full in the last things. He's playing. You lay 3-point like margin with the Chargers. That's the question. And that's what the smart guys, the pros, those guys like. How do you lay margin with a team that can't make explosive plays? So that's the question I think about the Chargers. Can they make explosive plays? Where will they come from? What even qualifies as margin? Like when they say win by margin, like, is that more than 3 points?
I would say a touchdown. When I think about winning by margin, I think about a touchdown.
Yeah. Okay. So the spread it went down from 3.5 to 3. We will win this game. I don't know or think it'll be pretty, but I'll lay 3 points. I'm excited.
I went
I'm not
over
excited.
on the Chargers, Tim. So I'm going to take the Chargers in the spot. I don't like the Raiders. Their defense is pretty good, I suppose. This has the look of a really bad offense. Not that the Chargers offense is going to be any great shakes, but if you're going to give me Minshew versus Herbert, I'll take Herbert in that head-to-head.
I expect two bad offenses struggling to score points, and then in that situation in division, I will take those points.
Didn't you say I'm losing by 20 or something?
I said I hoped that would happen because I was
Why
in a bitter,
hope? Why
I
hope?
was in a dark spot there, Geoff. I don't remember. You had done something.
And then you accused me of being in a bad mood like minutes later.
That sounds correct. That sounds like something I would have done. I'm not cheering against you, really. I just don't think your team is going to play great here. I think it's going to be a very low-scoring, tight game. Come down to the last possession. Which team makes the last mistake?
Not us anymore.
We'll see. We'll see.
Everyone thinks this is going to like work out. Be it this, I don't mean this like this week, but like with Harbaugh. And we are the franchise that will actually make it not work out.
Oh, there's plenty
That's
of franchises that would not make it work out. You can't give yourself that much credit. There's a lot of stupid franchises.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I have no idea what to expect. I don't know who's going to be running the football. Can the Raiders take advantage of how bad these corners are? Because I think that will dictate Charger games. Because there's a lot of opponents they play who can't, and the ones that can, I'm going to give them a lot of trouble, I worry.
All right, so Chargers for you and I,
Chargers.
Vegas for Coin and Tim. Moving on. Dallas and Cleveland is the next game. This is a Fox game. This is the Tom Brady game, right, Tim?
Sure is.
-2.5 for Cleveland at home. 41.5 is the over-under. Obviously, the Browns defense was lights out at home last year. Did not travel all that well. Deshaun Watson back under center. Not gentleman Joe Flacco, winner of a gigantic bet for Geoff as comeback player of the year a year ago. What do we make of Brady? Do we think he's going to be good? Because I think that he is.
I hope so. He took a year off to continue to get sharp. And thing is, he's got such little rope because the fellow he's replacing in Greg Olsen was so fantastic at the job that Brady sort of has to hit the ground running. So hopefully he used that time to get sharp at this. I'm sure he'll be well prepared, but I think it's kind of unfair to him to expect him to be as good as Greg Olsen, who seems like just a pure natural. So we'll see.
I think this works out better for Greg Olsen, Geoff, because we saw it with Romo, and yeah, the Romo thing got a bit overblown, but any new, fresh commentator, color guy that comes on and is good right away, people get really hyped for them. And then the backlash starts like 2-3 years into it. And Olsen's right at that time right now where the backlash would be starting against him, but now he's moved off the A team, so people are like, man, he's doing all the B games. This is great.
Yeah, and we'll still get plenty of Greg, and he'll continue to be great. And
This old Greg.
right, like his shine will remain without even getting exposure. The question is, are any of the bigger gigs going to become available for him in any of the recent year, like in the coming years?
Well, if Al Michaels retires, do you think that Collinsworth leaves? Or do they just bring in Tirico and just act like nothing happened?
Okay. Oh, that's a good question.
I mean, Michaels is on Amazon, right? So
he's not. Yeah, he doesn't do the Sunday Nighter anymore, does he?
For a couple of years.
Yeah.
I think he could go to Amazon and be good there.
Like he could replace Herb Street, who's already got 100 jobs, who I think is pretty good. Here's the thing with Brady. He's going to be amazing. I don't doubt it for a second. Getting to listen to him talk ball while we're watching ball, I think we are going to love it. I don't think he took a year off to practice. I just think he took a year off to get a year off. And in that year, did some like prep happen? Sure. But I don't know if you guys have seen the story in that because he is trying to own or be given or his deal with Mark Davis to get like a point or two of the Raiders. This has probably been facilitated by, no one else, like certainly the AFC West teams, Brady's not allowed in anyone's facility. He's not allowed to talk to the quarterbacks. He's not allowed to be part of those meetings. So that really sucks because
That's going
I
to
guess
hamper his ability to do this. That's going to really. That's
does.
really going to hamper his ability to do this job.
Do you
because
think?
think of how
How is he
think of
getting?
how
Hold on. How is he getting these points? Is it like he has to get the same haircut as Mark Davis and he gets 2% of the Raiders? 'Cause I don't know if he'd do that. He put a lot of money in that hair.
Yeah, no, I think he's getting it like just a good deal. Like it's worth it just for like brand awareness for the
Who is he,
Raiders.
fucking
They're-
Jerry's dad? Is it a hot deal? The Raiders
I
are
don't
hot.
think it's like a true I assure you Brady isn't paying true market price for what he's probably going to end up having of the Raiders franchise if that comes true. But it does hinder his job to do it does hinder his ability to do the job as good as he could, because imagine how open, Tim, like when you're sitting there with Brady on Friday night or something as the quarterback, like how much you'll give him.
Yeah.
You know, I think it would just be great to hear about his time with the quarterbacks and all that. So that does suck, but he's so good. I truly believe he's going to overcome it. But that is a thing that's happening. The league is not letting him be in anyone's building thinking that he can like give the tips to the Raiders. I am not that conspiracy. I actually think if I would trust Tom Brady to not give industry secrets if he was doing
It's not like it's a
Chargers
cell
game.
phone. It's not like it's a cell phone that he's going to smash into bits.
Well, good. He smashed into bits. No one else can get it.
Yeah. Or,
So you wouldn't want him, like, you agree that he shouldn't be allowed like in the Jets building doing a game if he's doing a game.
100% if he's taking points. I mean, I think the NFL's doing the right thing.
Let's
I guess
talk
you're right.
about this game, Dallas and Cleveland.
I'm far more excited for our return to hear what Mark Sanchez has to say every Sunday and Mark Schlereth has to say every Sunday.
Mark Schlereth.
That's our actual,
these
are
the
our
goat.
favorite parts of the Sunday.
He is the actual
Charles Davis
goat
and Mark
of-
Schlereth are the worst.
No,
That's
Schlereth
why
is
we,
awesome.
We love it. We love.
He gets.
when his
He
game
is the
steps
worst.
out.
The worst commentator, and he always does the worst game. It's so exciting.
We love it.
Like,
It's our
Sa-
favorite game.
Yeah, he'll be on Saints and Panthers, right? He's NFC.
Yeah, he might get Saints Panthers, but these days they mess all the games around. You never know who's on what network anymore.
I'm taking Dallas in this game. Like, just to boil it all down, I think most definitely, though, maybe Dallas isn't that good. Maybe the Browns are good. But I just look at that picture. It's Dak versus Watson. Give me Dak. Try to make
I'm on
this
the
easy
same
on
page.
myself.
Browns are not healthy. I mean, not that the Cowboys are a fantastic team this year. I don't think they are, but I don't understand. I mean, they say this is saying these two teams are equal. I do not believe they are equal. I think Dallas is a little better. Give me Dallas.
Geoff?
I'm going to take the Browns. I'm probably underrating Dallas, and I think in the end they'll do exactly what they need to do. I just looked up the Fox announced teams. They have 6 teams, and Schlereth is on the 6th team. It's Chris
course he
Myers
is.
and Schlereth.
Of course he is. What game is it, Jeff?
I'm not. That's their depth chart.
Oh, it's Buccaneers Commanders. 100%. It's Buccaneers Commanders. That's got them written all over it.
Not Panthers
Maybe.
Saints?
Maybe, but I just think the 5
got
o'clock
I've got
opposite
it.
America's game of the week.
Let's see. Oh, the Cardinals or Bills are getting Ross Tucker. Shout out Ross Tucker, friend of the show. Let's see. Where are we at here? Oh, Schlereth. Oh, yeah. Saints and Panthers. Mark Schlereth and Chris Myers.
Well, it's fair.
And the Washington game is going to Kevin Kulger and Daryl Johnson.
Moose.
And the worst CBS team is Charles Davis.
Oh, yeah.
He is the Mark Schlereth of CBS.
But he's with Ian Eagle.
This is our. No, he's not anymore.
He is. He's Ian Eagle and Charles Davis. Patriots and Bengals.
Is he?
Yep.
That's too bad because Iron Eagle's good.
Is
that
he
the
as good
kid
as
or the dad?
is he as good as Iron Eagle, the movie?
I don't know if I've seen that movie.
It has Lou Gossett Jr., I think. Anyway, you're on Cleveland Island here by yourself just because you don't think that Dallas is good. You think that Deshaun Watson's the MVP, Geoff. Is that what you're saying?
No, and I really worry about him. I don't think he's great. I just think this is a tough matchup. I hope CD goes off. I wouldn't be shocked. I got no real opinion. I'm genuinely sad I'm gonna miss Brady's debut being like fully focused on the Chargers game. Because I think that is that. I'm shocked that CBS is having Romo and Nance go against Brady doing the Chargers game. I mean that. That shocked me when I saw that. I think this is a big moment, as corny as that fucking is. Like the announcer.
If you
Excited
want
for it.
If you want to bet Dallas, I'd wait. The money seems to be moving towards the Browns right now. They're already up to -120 at 2.5. The next step is moving that to 3. If you wanted the full 3, I'd love the full 3 with Dallas.
Well, yeah, naturally.
3, betting 3 points on the plus side, better than 2.5, right? I learned that earlier from myself. Not so much help from Jeff. Rather bet the 2.
Well, no, all it takes is one holding, and that half point's gone.
Yeah,
Hey, listen, I'm trying
to
to add points. Cam is trying to steal them. I usually do this once a show. I've done it, and we haven't even left the game yet. I'm flip flopping. I'll flip flop. Cowboys.
All right, so rounded Dallas plus 2.5 against Cleveland. Next game, Washington and Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is favored by 3.5. I get they went to the second round of the playoffs. I don't think Tampa Bay should be favored by 3.5 over anyone. I'm going to use the same logic, Tim, that you used with Sam Darnold. Like, just give me the Commanders plus 3.5. Give me Jaden Daniels. If he makes it through the game, they cover.
Same exact position.
Hello?
I like Washington here quite a bit.
Jeffrey?
I didn't hear anything until you just said my name.
Oh, we're taking Washington because Tampa's no good.
I'm hardwired. How could I be unstable?
Maybe you have periodic deafness. It happens.
I am on. If there's a team in the league I have gotten wrong over the years in the most obvious drastic way, it is Tampa, and I can't get on their back. I'm fade. This league, it's a yo-yo. Overachievers last year. They're going to the gutter. That's where I'm going to be wrong on Tampa this year. I'm taking Washington.
Yeah, I don't think Washington's going to be any good. That's not the vibe that I want to put out there. But overall, between offense and defense last year, Tampa was still a bottom 10 team in the league. They just happened to play in the crummiest division and catch the Eagles at the right time. And then, nothing went right for them after that, obviously. And listen, it all depends on how good that you think Jaden Daniels is going to be. I think that he is, I don't want to say primed to be good right away, but I think that they can limit some of the things that, if he just doesn't get hurt when he's running, I think he can be quite dynamic, especially against a weaker type defense.
I think he's going to be like the number 1 ad in fantasy after week 1.
Well, Tim, he's being drafted inside the top 10. I don't think anyone's adding him.
We'll see. I bet you he won't be started on 30 to 40% of leagues.
Are people really that bad at fantasy?
Oh my God,
are they starting fucking Aaron Rodgers over Jaden Daniels like a bunch of fucking goobers?
I'm sure they will. It might not be the worst idea some weeks, but not this week.
Yeah. Rams and Lions on Sunday night football. 3.5 is the line. 51 is the total. This is the first of 14 games, Jeff, that the Lions get to play indoors this year.
The whole kit and caboodle for them. There's a lot of injuries, I feel, on the Rams potential right now.
And it does seem like just the latest on Jahmyr Gibbs is that he's going to be healthy ahead of week 1. It looks like he is going to play with that hamstring injury, that he's over it by this point. So that's good news for their offense.
I'm going to take the Rams. I'm going to take the Rams here. I'm going to take the points. Sean McVay, been in the league 7 years, 6-1 ATS week 1.
I would
Is this
assume
a Fienberg game?
I would assume that
this could be a Fienberg. This could be a Fienberg. Yeah.
I would assume that the loss was that game against the Bills.
Yes, 31 to 10, week 1.
Yeah, Josh Allen was going to be MVP. Bills off to the bowl. Yeah,
Didn't happen
there.
Didn't happen that way.
Been
No,
there.
Jets.
Stafford's healthy. It looks like Puka's clean now. Cup is clean. I know the Lions tried their desperate darndest to improve the secondary. I think it gets, growing pains here. I think great game. Close. Give me the points.
Did you know, Tim, that the Rams were dead last in special teams last year?
I didn't know that, or if I did, I'd forgotten it. That's interesting.
They were 7th in offense, 22nd in defense, 32nd in special teams. And I found this out. Did you know Matt Stafford used to play for the Lions? And Geoff used to play for the Rams? I heard this. News to me.
They're exchanging teams. The city of Los Angeles is exchanging 32nd overall special teams. There's a lot of trading going on.
I like the Lions in this game to route them.
I do not. I like the Rams. This is a shortlist super lock team. We're teasing them up, and I like the Rams here quite a bit. Road Dome. I think Detroit's going to falter a little bit early. I think a little bit too much pressure on them.
See, I
get a better quarterback, and I get 3.5 points, and I get, two receivers who, maybe neither are quite as good as St. Brown, but I don't know. I think the offenses are relatively close, and I think I'm going to go with the Rams here. I think the Rams have a real chance to win this game too.
Yeah, I think they could go back and forth offensively, no doubt. I think that the Lions' defense is better. Obviously, I think their special teams are better, and I do think it's about equal. I think overall, mainly because of the offensive line and their ability to run the ball, though Kyron Williams was excellent running the ball last year. He's also returning punts, which people in fantasy are freaking out about. Chase Brown is also returning punts for the Bengals, yet no one is freaking out about that and telling us how great Chase Brown is going to be. But
Antonio Brown returned punts for years.
A receiver's different than a running back, though, because that's just you're trying to manufacture extra touches to get into your receiver's hands, where you can turn around and hand the ball to a running back.
Christian McCaffrey returned punts for quite a while in Carolina. I don't have a problem with it.
I don't think it's that big of a deal. Maybe this is a way to improve their last-ranked special teams. Who knows? Maybe they looked at the numbers like, hey, let's give the ball to that guy who's pretty quick when he gets out there.
Runner in open field. Let's give him the ball. Seems like a smart idea.
Although I think they still have Tutu Atwell, who just it seems like your prototypical kick/punt return guy. But either way, I actually disagree with you about the pressure being on the Lions. The pressure might get ratcheted up on the Lions by week 3 or week 4, but it does seem to me, at least, like all the pressure in that division is on the Packers and the Bears right now. Because they're expected to have this leap and be like, oh yeah, they're actually going to be really good, where it's kind of just assumed that Detroit is going to be good.
I guess that's a case to be made. I do think there'll be a little bit more on Detroit than you're giving credit for, but okay. No, I think it's a solid, reasonable position.
All right. I'm the only one on Detroit, -3.5. Monday Night Football, Tim, your Super Bowl. The anniversary of the Jets winning the hypothetical Super Bowl from week 1 last year on Monday night in their victory over the Buffalo Bills. The New York Jumbo Jets are 4-point dogs on the road in San Francisco. A week ago, this was looking very positive for the Jets, but since Brandon Ayuk has signed and is going to play, and now Trent Williams has signed and is going to play, and Christian McCaffrey returned to practice in full today as well.
None of whom will be in top shape when the gun goes off Monday night to start the game. 3 weeks from now, you'd like them in a better spot than that. No. I'd rather they weren't playing, but it's not like they're going to be at top form. We're teasing the Jets up to the last part of the parlay. It's going to be a very close game. It's going to be a very good game. We could get got here. San Francisco has a lot of good pieces, but I have the superior quarterback. I have the superior receiver. I have the superior offensive line. I have the superior defensive line. I have the superior cornerbacks. When you're the best at everything, you don't lose many games. And so I don't anticipate us losing here. I do like the +4, and I like us in this game.
Geoff, a reminder, if you didn't make all your picks for the Pick'em Pool, which you can go play in the description, takes 10 seconds to fill out. You just need an Underdog handle. Use code MAYO at Underdog to get a deposit bonus of up to $1,000. Then play for $25,000 in bonus money by playing in that pool. You can just make all the picks on this game and take all the Jets because they're all the best players in the league.
The chip on Aaron Rodgers' shoulder this year is going to be so gigantic, fueled by all you people out there who said that, he wasn't going to come back last year. His heart wasn't in it. He's 41. He's done for. You seem to forget that he's like just 2 years removed from being the MVP, that he has 4 MVPs, that this team has gotten better than it was last year. And if he can play to his potential, can throw for 5,000 yards. He has all the tools here. People have to stay healthy.
5,000 yards.
That's like the ceiling of it's like the ceiling play. But it's there because they're the best at everything.
How does this make you feel, Geoff? Because I know you like the Jets in this game too.
Listen, did I want to kind of give my case first because listening to Tim talk will make me not like the Jets? I am playing both sides of the fence this year because I love the Jets. I think the Jets are, I mean, no one could be as good as the team Tim is describing. But
That's not going to the Super Bowl, by the way.
I think the Jets are great. I really do. They won 7 games with like the worst quarterback play ever.
Okay,
We threw a pick 6 on a Hail Mary.
Question.
A pick 6 on a Hail Mary.
Jets get credit for winning 7 games without a quarterback, so of course they're going to be a lot better. You've said nothing negative, you've said nothing positive about Russell Wilson in the past 3 months. The Broncos won 8 games last year, yet they're going to be markedly worse.
I believe I picked the Broncos.
I'm talking about Geoff here.
Oh, okay.
Listen, I'm not. I know that I couldn't hold up on a witness stand or something here.
Take the 5th.
Yeah, I just, there's Swiss cheese, but I think the Jets can win this goddamn game.
Of course
I think
they can.
The scheduling spot sets up nice. You want to have to go to the West Coast for week 1 at night, that late? Probably not, but I think there's an opportunity to catch the 49ers. I don't think they're really going to have serious trouble, but Super Bowl hangover, whatever you want to call it. I think it's a nice spot to get this team on this day. I think the Jets win this game. I think we come on this show next week and we are helping Tim, or we'll be finding out Tim has been practicing his bead throwing motion. How do you throw beads? As King Tim is on his balcony in New Orleans with his beads, just tossing them out all around town. I cannot wait. We'll be talking hotel reservations, beads, the whole 9 yards. And if it goes to shit, well, I'll enjoy it. And I'll giggle my ass off on Tuesdays. But I'm losing money on the Jets on Monday, I promise.
You think I'm afraid of Christian McCaffrey? You think I'm afraid of Brandon Ayuk? You think I'm afraid of George Kittle? Not against this defense. Not afraid of them. I respect them, but I'm not afraid of them. I think they're good players. I think our players are better players.
Well, on this show, about 3 months ago, you said that Brandon Ayuk was a top 5 receiver in football when you thought that the Jets were going to trade for him.
Great. Put him up against the best cornerback in football. Who wins that battle? The best cornerback in football. Next.
I'm also taking the Jets. I think the Jets win this game as well. I think it's a great spot for them. Listen, and the hype train will be out of control. Will we have to start a GoFundMe, Geoff, for week 2 with all the viewers? Because Tim, despite talking about going to New Orleans and wanting to go to New Orleans, he won't go to New Orleans unless it's paid for him. So we got to get the money for him somehow.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I'm sure someone will let him sleep on their hotel floor.
He won't do that. That's too. He wouldn't eat the fried piece of onion that fell on his pants. He's going to sleep on some unknown's floor, please.
A safe place to sleep, like the weekend of the Super Bowl, is all you can ask for, especially if you're being crowdsourced. So let's put it there. But this game is going to be dangerous. Because I already joked with you guys offline. This is one of 2 things on Monday. Either I need to win all my weekend losses back, or I press the lot of Sunday. Because I like this game. And it's the first Monday of the year. So we're chasing it all, or we're pressing it all. That's what this game is going to be.
I won't let you down. We won't let you down.
Oh God, shut up. You will.
San Francisco, this is tough, but we're going to win that. Then we go to Nashville. That's basically a bye. Then we go to the Patriots. That's another bye. Things start very soft for us.
What if someone breaks into Rodgers' car in San Francisco, Tim, and steals his other Achilles tendon? What would happen then?
Yeah, well, he's from the San Francisco area. I think he's prepared for whatever. I mean, it's a perfect spot for him to come back into playing.
Or
after a year off, because
be humiliated.
She's not going to be humiliated.
You don't think that's in the range of outcomes? You don't think at all that Rodgers shows up and he is fucking dust?
Well,
Washed is in the range of outcomes, Tim.
Sure, I'm not saying it's in the range. It's in the tails of the curve. Sure, okay, I get that. But doesn't it feel like it's my year?
No.
Doesn't it feel different? Doesn't
No.
the air smell different? Don't things seem to be different?
No.
The Irish are amazing. The Jets are amazing. Like, I've got a new strategy for Monopoly. I got a feeling 2024 is going to be my year. This fall is going to be, they talk on Seinfeld about the summer of George. This is the autumn of Tim. And you hear it here first.
Geoff, I think we found the winner of the 8th annual Custy Awards most reverse cursed. It's going to be Tim. Or statement factually untrue. That one.
Oh my God. The autumn of Tim. On that note, Tim, people have been asking me, literally, what's the status? Halloween decorations? They've been brought
Not
up
yet.
yet?
They have been
You
brought
go
up.
to the grocery store.
They have
and
been brought up. They have not been put out.
You go to the grocery store and it's like, is this for back to school or is this actually for Halloween?
No, it's all Halloween now and Thanksgiving stuff, but no, it isn't out yet.
But it's been carted up.
It's coming. Like, you asked me this time next week, it may be up.
Why are the ghosts?
It may be up.
Why are the ghosts so happy on your decorations? Like, wouldn't they be mad that they're dead?
Well, he's trick or treating, and he's got a bag full of candy corn, so he's delighted. That's that one is my Halloween table. See, I have different themes.
It's clear, like, summer drink days are over and pumpkin spice is back. It's kind of annoying.
It's over. We are now fully into the autumn, and you need to embrace it.
Survivor picks. We get to do this because we're not all out of it so far. What's your odds of winning Survivor this year and having a perfect season, Tim?
50-50.
Still 50-50?
What about when you survive week 1?
Yeah. I like my chances with the Buffalo Bills in week 1.
Okay, I am actually taking the Seattle Seahawks in week 1. Now, I would have taken the Bills, Geoff, because you kind of scared me off of Cincinnati. And Cincinnati has to be the play because they're playing New England, but Buffalo's going to get New England coming up soon, and I'd just rather save them for that.
Precisely.
So I'll take Seattle.
I'm taking Cincinnati, but I love the Seattle thought. I like it, but I'm not. Man, I'm going to regret that, like passing on it.
You're not going to regret it when they win the game 21-0.
No, I mean, like, not using Seattle here and saving the Bengals, but I'm taking the Bengals. I like Survivor week 1. I just want to
survive.
I just want to advance. Let all the people who entered their like huge consortiums, Max entered their 10 teams, need to do some weird things, even make some Thursday or Friday entries. And like, if they lose, they can re-enter. Let all that mishmash like eat itself and just get through the week. That's me. Bengals.
Super locks of the week. I will lead us off. I'll talk about the 5 picks I need to make for the millions here in a second, but I was down between, I like Miami -3. I like Philly -2.5. I like Washington +3.5. I like Dallas +2.5. And I like the Jets +4, but I think I'm going to land. I really shouldn't do this because it's a stupid Brazil game. I'll do it anyway. I like Philly -2.5 as my super lock. One of you two can talk.
I'll go. This was not easy. Unlike Tim, I didn't like see free money everywhere on the board, but and also unlike Tim, I'm actually betting real money. So he can like talk about how easy the betting board is as someone who's not actually betting, someone who is betting. Oh no, scared shitless. And this is so dumb. Carolina.
Okay, that's a pick. Tim, you're next.
Rams.
Really? Out of all those games, you like the Rams more than you like the Jets, who you said were going to win as 4-point underdogs?
Yeah, I do.
He's not dangerous because if the Lions are clicking, like anyone's just going to get their ass whipped, I feel.
Oh, Lions
so
are clicking
aggressive. They're just so aggressive. All that fourth down, like it's just there's just so much room to like even the teaser play against the Lions.
McVay's had a year to prepare and sort of get ready for this game. He's a better coach. And they'd like to knock out Detroit after having lost to them last time they played. That's actually a good spot for the Rams.
But
I
isn't
think.
like playing against the Lions a scary teaser option? Because if they win, you might be getting your ass like handed.
I
to you.
think the 3.5 points is very juicy, and I like it.
Oh, I'm taking that, but I mean the teaser's dangerous.
Well, but the teaser takes me through a lot of important numbers, I guess. But I mean, every teaser is dangerous. That's why they always lose.
No, because some offenses, you take those 10 points, those teams struggle to score.
I appreciate that.
We always would say, like, oh, you don't want to tease up on the Chiefs because, like, if they get it going, then there's no number that can save you. It's sort of like my fear. As much as I'm on to the Rams to take the 3.5, I'm with you there.
Well, last year I won the Super Locks because, I'm right every week with a 10-8 record. Geoff, you were 7-9. Tim, you were 8-10 because you guys had to play into the tiebreaker because you kept being tied. Your record last year for your free money, Tim, do you know what it was?
It was better than it's ever been before. I want to say I put 4 or 5 wins out there.
It was the best year by far that you've ever had. You were 7-15 in free money bets.
Look, you're making money at that rate.
Congrats, Tim.
Good
job.
Your lifetime record, however, is 27-136.
Less rosy, but I'm not like Mark McGuire. I'm not here to talk about the past.
But you talk about the Survivor thing all the time.
Just when I feel like I need to. I'm here to talk about what we're going to do this year.
Well, hit me with the 6-point teaser for week 1. Free money, can't lose.
4-team 6-point teaser. We are going to take the Bills down to a pick. We are going to take the Colts up to 8.5, the Jets up to 10, and the Rams up to 9.5.
Jets up to 10.
Yes, up to 10.
Yeah, and
the
Rams
up to 9.5.
Additionally, if you want to play in, there's the League Safe app that we ran last year that had the Pat Mayo Experience special question in it is running again this year. I think their weekly prize is like $500 or $300 or something like that. Completely free to join. If you go to the League Safe Locks app right now, you probably still have it from last year. That's all running again, so I highly suggest that you go do that. And Geoff, you need to find someone to get you into this pool. You can go register. You should still register right now. So the weeks that you can do it, you can get that monies. So if you're in Ontario or one of the places where you don't have Pick'em for Underdog, still register for the tournament because there's weekly prizes of $500 too. And then if you do get out of state into a state where you can play or a location where you can play, you can go put in the picks. Like I said, you could I think you can do this for $20 total to make 180 picks.
I'd play steeper, but that seems pretty cool. And I'm going to take you up on that. I will register right now because I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm throwing out all the good ideas to everyone. So go do that down in the description right now. Code Mayo at Underdog Fantasy will get you that deposit bonus of up to $1,000. And there's a Travis Kelce free pick on Thursday Night Football. And if you go to @thepme on Instagram, you can find out my 3 picks for that night. It's Derrick Henry, free pick Kelce over, and something else. Pacheco over receptions, but he's like 5.5 to 1. So go hit that up. Isaiah likely under receptions of 2 in that game is quite nice as well. That will do it for us. We're back. We're back in the saddle here. The coin is very excited to be back. Geoff, are you?
I am very excited, and you said I'm just going to fly smoothly. I'm going to say something really insane right now.
Oh, good.
If I knew how, I would send every Chargers beat reporter like a gift basket to start the year. Like, let's be on good terms. Like, we're cool. Peace and love. But like if I wanted to DM you with a question, like, maybe you could answer it. So I don't know how though.
Are you not getting responses from the owner anymore?
It's been he's not active. We were supposed to hang out at the Hall of Fame in Canton last year, but they snubbed Gates. I love the class, but an egregious snub. And now next year, like, is Eli's gonna get in, but is he gonna be first ballot? Because I really don't want to be there on Eli's weekend. That's fucking annoying.
Do you think that Gates didn't get in because of that one time on the Pat Mayo Experience he got caught making out with Phillip Rivers?
Well, we'll work on that. Work on that.
Oh, hey, I'm Phillip Rivers. I don't want to be throwing the ball downfield no more. Oh, look, it's my best friend coming back, Antonio Gates. Ooh, I love you, Geoff.
I love you too, guys.
Week 5, it's all gonna happen for us.
Yeah, they win this week. We get the Browns next week.
I throw it to you, Antonio, because you can't run more than 7 yards down the field. Touchdown. Ooh, yeah. Ooh. Oh, Philip. Philip would not enjoy this, would he? This would be against his beliefs.
This is a sin.
I only have one
kiss
half
me,
of-
Geoff. You don't have the Philip Rivers one anymore?
It's up somewhere else. It's maybe my nephew's got it, but yeah, Gates is still here. He's holding on strong. Yeah, maybe that did cost him. And they changed the rule on coaches. They only have to wait 2 years. So Belichick will go in this summer. Clearly. Eli's going in. Is he first ballot? I guess he's for sure first ballot, probably.
I think that makes sense for coaches because these coaches don't retire till they're like 75, Tim.
I agree.
And they don't get a whole lot of living after they retire, it seems.
Belichick will be amazing too this season, but it does seem no, I don't know. He's
Yeah,
gonna be
you-
amazing.
You just remembered he's on Underdog, didn't you?
I did.
Say what you gotta say. I don't care.
No, it's not even a bad thing. I just sense he just seems a little over like exposed. In the way that Brady like clearly just calling the games do that, but it seems like Belichick's got he's doing the Manning cast. Feels like maybe like almost every week. He's got his regular segment on McAfee. He's doing the Underdog show. He's doing Inside the NFL. So like take the jobs. I get it. You know, he's a sugar daddy now. So, you know, good for you. Good for you, Bill. But just feel like might be like a little too much Bill. But I think he's going to be amazing anytime he opens his mouth.
Well, I want to thank all of you for coming back. If this is your first show back, obviously the AFC wins and the NFC win total show we all did together are already out because the season is starting this week. But if there's one you have to watch, I would say that it's probably the win totals draft, which is one of my favorite shows that we've ever done. Thanks in no part really to Tim and Cust.
Tim and Gust.
It's not my name.
I appreciate you being there. You're really staying out of the insanity lane on that one, weren't you?
There were enough fireworks taking place that I didn't need to interject. I just picked my spots and just tried to make sure the poor Cam didn't take the bait when Rob said even if Aaron Rodgers gets hurt, there's Tyrod, who's an excellent backup who could lead them all the way.
Tomorrow should be good. When are you doing best bets?
We're recording in the evenings on Wednesday for very late Wednesday release or early Thursday release. I think because it's week 1, I'll probably put it out Wednesday evening because I'll probably do another re-up on the rankings and the news report on Thursday morning. Probably won't be getting like 5 ranking shows and news updates from me per week, although maybe I will. Maybe I'll do it every morning, 10 minutes. Do you think people would enjoy that?
I think it would be too much work for you.
No,
I think the 10 minutes though is like
really not
it's
like
good.
10 minutes. Like if I could make it 10 minutes, which I can't do because it's me.
Well, I think
and I just won't
what
stop
would
talking.
be fun then is you start a clock and you tell people when it hits 10 minutes, you just stop. Even if you're like mid-sentence, that's it. You're done. You get 10 minutes of me. That would be a funny conceit.
It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, no, not really. Like you're done when the timer goes off. You're done.
Sometimes I do my best work when like you're fed up with me and I'm like, no, put me on the clock, 60 seconds. And I like just get everything else I have to get out. I'm crazy. Tim's sane. Tim's insane.
You're just regular crazy?
No, Tim, I'm crazy. I know I'm crazy. Tim thinks he's normal. It was actually nice last year. He conceded he's like 3.5 out of 10 insane, which was
Sure.
like a big step for him.
But I'm not a crazy person. You're the crazy person, and you're going to win that vote this year. You already know it. It was already so close last year.
I feel like last year was your real shot. If Hamlin had just won comeback player of the year, you win, Tim.
I mean, yes, I agree.
But the world,
I
don't know
conspired
what-
against you.
I don't know what I'm going to give you, but
Today was
there's
a
a
good
lot
start.
going on. Like, you know, the months ahead are very I guess I'm always, what do we say, the in the range of outcomes Rodgers can get washed. In the range of outcomes I can always pop, but I don't have this like claim that you can campaign on like you had last year from Go, when me saying all Hamlin had to do was wake up. That's not enough to win an award.
Yes, you're right. I'll have to patch it together a little bit more cleverly this year. I may not have the big shiny bauble in the window.
Well, I want to thank you all for coming back. It's going to be an amazing season. Tune into all the shows on the Pat Mayo Experience. And subscribe to Mayo Media Network on TikTok and Instagram. We have reels with picks that are not on YouTube or the podcast going up there as well for football and other sports at the same time. We're really going to put a focus on that and try to win this year. And we're going to be doing it by going to Underdog. Code Mayo at Underdog right now. $1,000 is the deposit bonus, up to at least, if you want to put in the money to go do that, and then play in the $25,000 pick'em pool that's down in the description right now. The League Safe Locks app for free stuff, and then if you leave a rating, review, and subscribe to the audio podcast for this show, giving away one of you $500 straight cash, all right, on this show next week. So please go do that and support the show. Thank you all for watching. I'm Pat Mayo. I'll see you next time.
Pat Mayo Experience! Experience!